The calendar is turned to November, and that means it's championship drive time for teams atop the Big Sky. That includes 6th-ranked UC Davis, who owns a 6-1 overall and a perfect 4-0 conference record. As for Idaho State, they come in 2-6 overall and 1-3 in the conference. They look to play spoiler on the road. It's the featured game in the Big Sky this week as the Aggies and the Bengals battle on Parents and Family Weekend here at UC Davis Health Stadium. Hello everyone, Scott Marsh here with Scott Gordon. And Scotty, today it's appropriate. It's Parents and Family Weekend here on campus, and part of the Aggie family is coming back today on that Idaho State sideline. Head coach Cody Hawkins, his dad Dan back. Of course, they helped build UC Davis to where they're at right now as a national FCS powerhouse.
They absolutely did. If you think about after the 2016 season, after multiple losing seasons for UC Davis, they went to one of their own. Dan Hawkins, a former fullback who played for Hall of Famer Jim Soker, was hired to be the head coach. He got to the playoffs twice during his tenure, and on that staff was a young wide receivers coach and offensive coordinator, Cody Hawkins. He's the head coach for Idaho State today. They are still looking for a statement win, but the reason this is the Big Sky game of the week is the Aggies are undefeated. They want to win the Big Sky championship, and that means they need to hold serve today.
They do indeed, and for both teams, they have elite wide receivers. And for the Aggies, that's Samuel Batu Jr., who last week in Northern Colorado in the victory recorded his 5th career 100-yard receiving game.
Yeah, it seems like every year Sam Batu gets a little bit better. Last year he was the long threat with a deep room of wide receivers, Chaz Davis, C.J. Hutton, Trent Tompkins. This year he's a team captain. He's running better routes. He's scoring down the field. And with Caden Pinnick coming off a week where he didn't play, he's going to be hitting Sam Batu quite a bit.
For Idaho State, they are led by Mike Shulikov, their big 6'6" target, who already has over 700 yards receiving on the year.
Mike Shulikov went to Idaho State on a track and field scholarship. Didn't play football for 2 years, but he showed up when Cody Hawkins did in the spring of 2023, and by the end of the spring, he had himself a scholarship. He is an athletic marvel, 6'6", 225, and you saw the frame there. He leads the Bengals in receptions, yards, and receiving touchdowns. He will be somebody the Aggies defense has got to keep an eye on, especially in the red zone.
UC Davis won the opening coin toss. They elected to defer, so that means they'll kick off to start this game. Is Isaac Mancera ready to boot this way, set to receive for the Bengals, Ian Duarte, as it's the battle of the former coaches for the Bengals, or for the Aggies, now on the Bengals sideline. Cody Hawkins, Dan Hawkins making their return to UC Davis. And we are underway here on an absolutely beautiful afternoon from UC Davis. As Duarte takes a knee, it'll be a touchback, 1st and 10 for the Idaho State Bengals from their 25-yard line. They come in at just 2-6 overall. We'll look at the keys today for the contest, brought to you by Jeremiah Johnson Brewery.
They've got to protect the football. They're -3 in turnover category. They've got to finish the games. They've gone with leads into the 4th quarter multiple times and not been able to win. And they've got to win on 3rd down, Scott. They're converting just over 40% of the time on 3rd down.
All right, again, those keys brought to you by Jeremiah Johnson Brewing Company. Do well. 1st and 10 for the Bengals from their 25-yard line. They throw out in the flat, the bubble screen, and it is blown up. Cole Batson reading it and making a tackle for loss on Duarte, as that ball will be moved back all the way to the 21-yard line, a loss of 4.
Yeah, the Bengals run a run-and-shoot offense. They try to throw on almost every down if they can. That was a quick wide receiver screen. They had 2 receivers out there, but Cole Batson came up. He sniffed it out, got a tackle for loss to start the game. What a player he's been, spelling in for the injured Rex Connors.
Of course, Rex and his brother Porter both out, both Idaho products. As Cook on 2nd down throws out far side, pass complete, near a 1st down. That's to his big target, Mike Shulikov. You saw him in the pregame show, a big target for the Bengals, and the Aggies will have to defend him all day long.
A great route that time, really good throw from the left hash all the way to the far side of the field and make this a makeable 3rd down.
3rd and short, they'll throw again. Cook across the middle, slant pass, caught. It'll be a 1st down and more to Duarte. Jordan Cook coming into the year, or to this game, approaching 2,000 yards passing, 1,950 coming into this contest, a prolific thrower of the football.
Yeah, he threw for over 420 yards against Montana, a game they led by 10 going into the 4th quarter.
Lots of games Idaho State would like to have back. They've been close in several key games, including that Montana game. This game, a run, and that is going to the house. 20, 10, 5, and in. Dason Brooks untouched. And just like that, Idaho State jumps on the scoreboard first.
Well, they came out 3 straight passes, and then they went with a run underneath. And look at the job the center, Alex Ramirez does, pushing out. Nate Ricina opens up in a very smart run by Dason Brooks. Watch the center, Ramirez here, push Nate Ricina out. Great cutback that time by Dason Brooks from Chandler, Arizona. Takes it all the way to the house. And that is his 7th touchdown of the season.
A 57-yard run like that, silencing the UC Davis Health Stadium crowd. Extra point up and good from Trajan Sinatra. And the Bengals get on the scoreboard quick, Scott.
That's exactly what you want to do if you are Cody Hawkins. Put your offense on the field. They got a little bit behind the sticks on first down. They complete their next 2 passes, and then they go to the ground. And really, Brooks, he's the guy that they can go to. They spread you out. They're a true run-and-shoot offense, which means they don't have a ton of concepts running the ball, but by spreading you out and throwing it on the first 3 plays, they're able to get it to Brooks for the big run.
So Idaho State's jumping out quickly as they go 75 yards on 4 plays. Just took 1:27 off the clock. And that was after a negative play on first down. Did not matter to them, so we'll see how the Aggies respond today as we look at the UC Davis keys to the game today, Scott.
Well, Bengals can be opportunistic. They've thrown 10 interceptions. Aggies got to get the ball back. No rush for Caden. He missed last week. Obviously, he can get off to a good start and really rush to victory. Last week, they rushed for over 200 yards, 238 to be exact, and they are rushing for almost 200 yards per game. Run the football, they'll be very effective offensively.
Sinatra kicks it away. Carter Vargas catches it at the goal line. Back to the 10-15, left sideline to the 20. Tripped up near the 25-yard line where UC Davis will get their first offensive possession of the game. And, of course, the question coming into this one is the health of Caden Pinnock. He missed last week, was unable to travel with the team to Northern Colorado. Grant Harper, the 6th-year senior, made his first start, played very effectively for the Aggies in the win. But Pinnock back today. He practiced during the week, and obviously he's good enough to go today.
Well, he practiced during the week before, too. He really didn't come down with the illness until kind of late in the week, so he didn't miss a lot of football. Seemed solid all week. They wouldn't put him out if they didn't think he was ready to go.
And obviously the redshirt freshman's had a tremendous year so far, a 3-time winner of the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Week award. First down handoff goes to Jordan Fisher. He gets out to the 28-yard line, a gain of 5 for Jordan Fisher, who comes in averaging over 7 yards a carry.
Not surprised at all. 2 receivers out to the right, run Jordan Fisher into the boundary. And how effective was that drive last week? 52 yards, 15 plays, ran over 7 minutes on the clock. They really got great push by that offensive front to close out the Northern Colorado game.
2nd down and 5. Batu in motion. Pinnock rolls out left side, throws out pass caught up to the 40-yard line, spinning Stacey Dobbins and tackled at the 42. A whirling dervish move by Stacey Dobbins, who's really coming on for the Aggies.
Yeah, it's not even 110, and you using terms like whirling dervish, but great throw that time by Caden Pinnock, getting away from the rush.
Aggies playing with pace, handoff. Fisher gets past midfield into positive territory and carries Bengal defenders for a first down.
Aggies going with rhythm. Tim Plow, the head coach and play caller, says time of possession is not something he worries about at all. It's yards per play. The Aggies are getting a chunk of them.
Direct snap to Fisher, runs it right side, inside the 40. Another good gain on first down for 7 yards for Jordan Fisher.
Something that Cody Hawkins used a lot of when he was coaching Lan Larison, a direct snapper there, so he's got to look at that and say, hey, I started that when I was at UC Davis, but a good pickup, and the Aggies are getting a lot of good yardage on first down, getting themselves in second and manageable.
Yeah, that game 2 years ago was the Hawkins Bowl when Dan was the head coach. A lot of Lan Larison from the Wildcat when the Aggies won on the road in Pocatello. Handoff, and enough for a first down is the Aggie back. Falling forward with it is Carter Vargas, who gets his first carry of the game.
Vargas, another guy who's averaging almost 7 yards per carry, 6.8 coming in there. They're getting a good push, again, going into the boundary, go to the short side, and Vargas always ends up with his shoulders going north and south, gets the extra yards for the first down. But again, it was 2nd and 3, Scott. They got 7 yards on first down on the direct stop snap to Jordan Fisher.
A lot of ground and pound early on for the Ags. 4 wide receiver set, 2 each way. on 1st and 10 from the Bengal 36-yard line. Pinnock this time will throw. Deep down the far side of the field, man-to-man coverage. It's incomplete at the 10-yard line, but a flag will be thrown. The intended receiver was Zach Jones. In on the coverage for the Bengals, it was Richards, and that's going to be a 15-yard infraction.
This is going to be a break for Caden Pinnock.
Pass interference. Number 2, defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Because, Scott, it looked like Zach Jones definitely had a step. If Caden Pinnock puts this out ahead of him, watch this. He's got a step on the defender, but he has to come back to the football. But a veteran move of running into the defensive back, causing the pass interference. The drive keeps up. Great job of Zach Jones getting the pass interference. That's a veteran move.
You have to wonder how effective Caden will be today. Not only did he miss last week, but the prior week was a bye, so it's the first time he's been on the field in 3 weeks. 1st and 10 for the Aggies at the Bengal 21-yard line. Mitch Dixon, the tight end, in motion, and now whistles will stop play, and the Aggies are going to take a timeout here.
Yeah, they had to take one there. They actually had an illegal shift coming up.
UC Davis, first of the half. Timeout on the field.
Timeout on the field. We'll take it. Idaho State with a quick 7 on the board. Aggies looking to respond when we return. Gamar Scott Gordon with you as we take a look at the series history. 9th all-time meeting. UC Davis leads the series 7-1. The Aggies are perfect at home. Last time winning in what was known as the Hawkins Bowl. Dan, the head coach of the Aggies at the time. Cody, the coach of the Bengals. UC Davis winning on the road 21-14. They've had other great battles. The 2018 game when the Aggies went to the national quarterfinals. They won a game in overtime against the Bengals here after Idaho State missed a chip field goal shot at the end of regulation that would have won it for them.
UC Davis, the last time they played the Bengals here, won 43-3.
First down, handoff, Jordan Fisher inside the 20. Goes right side for about 3 yards. The Aggies in the red zone where they have been extremely efficient this season, Scott.
Yeah, they have in the red zone, almost 92%, and getting 17 touchdowns and 24 visits there was a bit of an issue early in the season last year. They've cleaned that up. And when you talk to head coach Tim Plow and Paul Shelton, the offensive coordinator, they talk about the importance of running the ball, which they've done very, very well in the red zone.
And obviously Caden Pinnock, very mobile, makes those opportunities a little bit easier for the Aggie offense. Trips receivers out to the left. Pinnock looking left, fakes the bubble screen, throws across the middle, has a man wide open. It's Ian Simpson, and it's connected down to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, Aggies.
This is a great throw and a great catch. They fake the wide receiver screen to the left. Simpson comes up like he's going to block and then runs right past the DB. Watch this. A lot of teams are putting this in. Fake it to Stacey Dobbins. Simpson goes right past him. Ball is to his back shoulder where it needed to be with the safety over the top. Good catch by Simpson. Another one on the year as he's 14th reception for the season.
1st and goal, Aggies. Pinnock from the pistol. Hands off Vargas, left side with it. Turns it in. Touchdown, UC Davis. Carter Vargas with the touchdown. His 3rd of the season. And the Aggies get back to within 1.
So Carter Vargas starts it with the kick return. Carter Vargas ends it with the touchdown in the red zone around the left side. Great job by getting a push and a good run by Carter Vargas. And the Aggies with a great response to the Idaho State touchdown. They go down and get one on their own.
Yeah, Vargas running behind that left tackle, Eli Simonson, who is a game captain this week for the Aggies and a Campbell Award semifinalist. Extra point attempt by Hunter Ridley. It's blocked. The Aggies have their extra point attempt blocked, and Idaho State will remain on top. And that's been really a challenge for the Aggies this season, having kicks blocked on special teams. We go to the break. The Bengals still with the lead, 7-6 on a perfect day from UC Davis. Motherload van in storage drive stats. Aggies, 8 plays, 77 yards, get the touchdown. The Carter Vargas run, but the extra point blocked. Here's another look at it. Hunter Ridley looks like a normal routine, but just the middle of the Bengals line, able to get the hands up and get the block.
That's been an issue for the Aggies. They've had a field goal block and an extra point, and a great job of getting some penetration. Is that 96 that got it? Yeah, it looked like it was Bronson Childs, one of their best defensive players, just getting vertical. Kick was a little bit low, but now the Aggies score a touchdown. Don't get the extra point, and you hate to have that because now you're playing catch up on the points for the rest of the game.
Mancera's kick, high end over end. Duarte catches it in the field of play, returns it left side, 15 to the 20, trying to find a seam, can't do it. Upended at the 25-yard line. Tackle on the play for the Aggies by Josiah Allen. Allen, who had his hand broken last week at Northern Colorado, playing today with a cast.
Yeah, the Aggie defensive secondary has been a mash unit, but give him a lot of credit for coming up and getting a soft cast on so he can play.
There's a look at those Motherlode drive stats again. The Aggies, a play 77 yards, the Carter Vargas touchdown run. Motherlode Vantage Storage providing those drive stats.
The Aggies with good balance on that first. 32 yards on the ground, 30 through the air.
Cook on first down, rifles it, it's incomplete. A strike between two defenders. A lot of mustard on that one, and unable to hold it was Zion Nunnally, one of their best receivers.
Another one from Cardinal Newman, but it's Jaden Stanley who gets his left finger on it and kind of knocks it away, makes it a little bit distracting. He tried to fit it in between three defenders. Stanley doing a nice job, one of the captains, knocking it with his left hand.
A lot of mustard on that one. Second down and 10. Cook, another wide receiver screen. Nunnally catches this one, makes a run with it, has a first down out to the 40-yard line. Excellently executed that time by the Bengal offense.
Really good job that time. They run it into the boundary, and the right guard, Jake Hellman, goes upfield and gets on Jaden Stanley, who just made the job. Watch 75 release, get upfield, and get a block and actually push Stanley to the other side. If they're reading that the right way, he could have cut that outside for bigger yards.
Hand off, that's Dason Brooks, who has a 57-yard touchdown run in this game, out to the 46-yard line. Will pick up 5 on that carry.
Well, Cody Hawkins and Dan Hawkins were here for a long time. They know a lot of this Aggie personnel. They recruited a fair amount of them. One group they didn't recruit a lot of is the defensive front. So a little bit of feeling out here earlier in the game. Good tackle right there by, looks like Jackson Severs was in on the stop.
Brooks, a very tough runner for the Bengals. He's a converted linebacker, came to the offensive side last season. 2nd and 5, Cook across the middle, pass caught down to the Aggie 40. Sideline 30 goes Nunnally and all the way inside the UC Davis 25-yard line. Cody Hawkins has his offense dialed in early on.
Ty Richardson's first game back after being injured for a while was covering Nunnally into the boundary there. He slipped. But Nunnally, one of the Washington State transfers, also from Cardinal Newman High School, the same high school Jordan Cook's from, and the offense looks very good for the Bengals right now.
Bengals, they came into this game, according to Coach Hawkins, confident but frustrated with some of the loss. Now a throw to the end zone, far corner, man-to-man coverage, and it's incomplete. Drew Cofield with excellent coverage on Shulikov, who again goes 6'6" out there.
It's exactly what the Bengals want to do, is throw a fade route to Shulikov over in the corner. He's actually was the Idaho State high jump champion in high school. Lightly recruited, meaning he didn't get really recruited at all. A lot of COVID situations, but Drew Cofield, who's given up about 6 inches there, makes a great play defensively.
2nd down and 10, 4 receivers, 2 each way. Cook licking left, comes back across the middle, slant pass caught inside the 20-yard line, goes Damian Morgan, another California native out of Modesto. Lots of California players on this team.
Not surprised, coaching staff that was here in California for a long time. They've got a lot of connections in California, and a lot of Big Sky teams looking to California to bring in especially their skill position players. But now you're seeing why Jordan Cook has only been sacked 3 times. He gets the ball out very fast.
Aggies have done a good job of getting pressure on the quarterback in conference games. We'll see if they can do it today. 3rd and 7. Cook releases quickly again. Pass caught, turning it around and getting a first down before going out of bounds is Ian Duarte. And the Bengal drive continues. There is a flag down on the play.
We have face mask on Cole Batts.
Personal foul. Face mask. 23. Defense. Penalty enforced. Half distance to the goal. First down.
You nailed that one. Our referee today is Jeff Rink, so Cole Batson guilty of that, and it's going to make the red zone opportunity a little easier for the Bengals.
They went with a little rub route that time. 2 receivers runs a slant, got in the way. He ran the little out slant route. Batson just trying to get up there and knock the ball loose, got the face mask.
So with the penalty, 1st and goal inside the 5. Direct snap to Brooks, trying to get right side. Finds a seam, barreling forward near the goal line. Stopped just short of it. So Dason Brooks has been very effective here in this opening quarter on the ground.
And you can see while the former linebacker, he runs like he's got a linebacker mentality, looking for contact. Right before the snap, Jordan Cook went one to the right, snap direct to the running back. Not surprised, that's a staple of the Cody Hawkins offense, and he gets it down to about the 1.
2nd and goal. See if the Aggie D can get a stand here. Again, spread offense. Brooks in the backfield. Bengals play without a tight end even in the red zone. Cook, quick release, pass caught, touchdown Nunnally. And for the 2nd straight drive, Idaho State converts with a touchdown. They lead 13-6.
The offense has done exactly what they've wanted to do. Very few 3rd downs, back-to-back 75-yard drives, 150 yards in the first half with still over 6 minutes to play. Cody Hawkins' offense looks great, and Jordan Cook that time, perfect strike to Nunnally.
So on for the extra point attempt is Trajan Sinatra. Snap down, kick is up, and it is good. 6:26 left to go first quarter. Idaho State on the road making a statement early. They lead 14-6. There's a look at Idaho State head coach Cody Hawkins, very familiar here at UC Davis. Of course, the former offensive coordinator, coached under his dad, Dan Hawkins, here in his 3rd season, 10-21 overall. Last year went 5-7, currently just 2-6. They're 1-3 in the Big Sky, but Scott, according to Cody, they're very physically capable. They just haven't finished. The attention to detail hasn't been as great as he would have liked.
Well, think about it. They started off the year against a bowl-eligible UNLV and led almost the entire game, lost 38-31. They led by 10 against Montana, who's undefeated right now, and they've just done a lot of good things.
Vargas with it, high hurdles a man, still on his feet, past the 20, breaking tackles, out past the 25-yard line. A terrific run by Carter Vargas to set up the series for the Aggies. But going back to Cody Hawkins, he said during the week it's going to feel a little weird coaching on the opposing sideline, as we do have a flag down. We'll figure that out. So Cody's still trying to figure it out here. He knows so many of the coaches here. Jerry Brady, the D-line coach, was in his wedding. He grew up here, he said. He got married here, had kids here before moving on to Idaho State. He recruited a lot of players on this Aggie team. It just makes today extra special.
And remember, we talked to Matt Coombs, the defensive coordinator, and he said Cody Hawkins was the one who drove him around town before, as we get the call.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 24, Idaho State, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
So that's going to go against Isaiah Cook at 15 more to the Aggies to start off outside the 40-yard line. But yeah, today it's almost surreal for Cody to be back here. Of course, he coached under Tim Plow when Tim was OC here. He came in as a wide receivers coach.
He was a wide receivers coach. They sat in a lot of meetings. They did a lot of game planning together, and then he got to take control of the offense for 2 years. They did a pretty good job. Both seasons winning records, one of those years going to the playoffs.
1st and 10 for the Aggies, trying to respond to the Idaho State touchdown. 14-6, Aggies trailing. Pinnock on 1st down, hands off for Fisher, finds a seam out past the 45 and near midfield. Good patience that time by Jordan Fisher to let the hole open.
That's a great call by you, Scott. That's a very patient run to pick up 7 yards. Look at this, it's not there right away. Mitchell Dixon trying to lead block. He goes right behind him. Good job by Sam Batu, who he featured in the open blocking. The old adage for the wide receivers, you do not get the rock if you do not block.
Batu, of course, was called for a targeting last week. It was not upheld after the Aggies appealed it, as the reception made by Dobbins able to keep a foot in bounds, and that'll be a 1st down for UC Davis.
This is a phenomenal catch. This is not an easy catch at all. It's away from his body. Not only does he grab it, but he gets a foot down. The true sophomore out of St. John Bosco, who's really stepped up this season now on the year. That's his 27th catch of the year. He does have a touchdown, which he got in the last home game.
So the Aggies on the plus side of the field, 1st and 10. Batu in the slot to the left. Dixon, the tight end, moves to the left side of the line. Here comes Scott Nixon in motion. They'll hand off to Fisher straight down the middle to the 40, to the 35. Still on his feet, has a 1st down and more. Backpedaling inside the 30-yard line on a terrific run by Jordan Fisher.
Great run by Fisher, but a great job by the left side of the line. Jace Rodriguez and Zaire Collier getting the open hole. Great job that time.
Pinnock hands off Fisher, left side with it, turns it in. down to the 25-yard line, just running behind Rodriguez and Simonson on the left side. The Aggies looking to run it a lot today. Of course, Caden Pinnock did not play last week, trying to work him into the game.
They rushed for 238 yards last week. They're looking to do the same today.
Pinnock will take off with it now. Has room inside the 20. Circling right side to the 15. Carrying a man down to the 10-yard line. Terrific run by Caden Pinnock. He looks back to full health. The tackle made by Maka Tuake.
He has such an athletic sense about him. You know, a lot of quarterbacks might have slid here, but he saw a way to get upfield. He gets away from the rush, steps up, comes upfield, makes somebody miss. The receiver's downfield. Look at Jordan Fisher downfield making the block. Doesn't take a big hit, gets it right to the 10-yard line. They cannot get a first down, but they're in the red zone again.
Pinnock 127 yards rushing on the year, and that doesn't include all the negative yardage from the sacks. Bunch formation for the Aggs. Pinnock hands off. Vargas met with resistance at the line of the scrimmage. No gain on the play. Terrific D-line play by Bo Jacks, the redshirt sophomore out of Meridian, Idaho.
Yeah, Bo Jacks read that really well. They tried to pull the guard and tackle, run a little bit of counter, a little bit of misdirection, and they just missed the block that time, and Bo Jacks comes up and makes a nice stop.
So second down and goal. Again, the Aggies cannot get a first down here. It's touchdown or nothing. Batu out to the right. Zach Jones in motion to the left. Pinnock the throw, setting up the tight end screen. Simpson inside the 5, puts his helmet down. Now it's a push towards the goal line. And the Bengals are going to win that scrimmage right there. And it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1.
Great play design. They do that orbit motion with Zach Jones to try to pull a linebacker and safety out, and then they run the tight end screen underneath. That's the 15th catch of the year for Ian Simpson. But you know what he doesn't have this year, Scott? A touchdown. He's trying to get one right there, trying to push his way in.
You got to feel the Aggies are going to take 2 stabs at 6 here.
Well, especially with the extra point being blocked. They like to pin the Bengals deep if they don't get it.
3rd and goal. Pinnock looking over to the left. Here comes Dixon in motion. Pinnock keeps it, rolling out, trying to find his tight end. He's not open. Pinnock has to make a move, runs down the sideline, forced out of bounds back at the 4-yard line. And a loss of 3 on the play. And that's where Caden Pinnock, outside the tackles, has to throw it away there.
Yeah, you got to be smarter here. I think he thought he could get down to the end zone. They're trying to get Ian Simpson, but well defended by the Bengals. You just got to throw this one away and know where you are on the field.
It was just a great play by Bo Jacks to force Pinnock out of bounds. And the Aggies are going to go for it despite losing 3 on 3rd down.
Jacks has made 2 really good plays for the Bengals. See what the Aggies can get done here. 4th down in the red zone.
Bunch receivers to the left. Batu in motion. Pinnock looking right side, rifles it. Pass caught, touchdown, UC Davis. So the loss of 3 yards on 3rd did not matter. Le'Veon Pickett with his 2nd touchdown as an Aggie. Had one last week against Northern Colorado. Gets one here to make it 14-12. And it looks like the Aggies will go for the extra point here.
Le'Veon Pickett, 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns on the year. As they talk to Caden Pinnock. Great job right there. Little bunch formation, send Batu around the corner. Pickett just goes down to the goal line. Ball's on the left hash. Perfect strike. That's where that arm strength comes in as they go for the extra point here, and the Aggies answer with a touchdown.
So instead of going for 2 to try and tie it, they'll kick the extra point. It's good from Hunter Ridley. So not a lot of defense yet in this one. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns here from UC Davis Health Stadium, and that's kind of a classic Big Sky game. One more look here at the touchdown strike. Pinnock rifling it to Pickett.
I love the design, though. You saw Sam Batu leaking out to the outside, and he actually takes the defensive back, Mike Lindsay, one of their better ones, with him, and all Pickett had to do was sit right there in the curl. Caden Pinnock now with his 17th touchdown on the season, has not thrown an interception in conference play.
Here's a look at the Mother Lode Vantage Storage drive stats. 9 plays, 58 yards, 4 minutes and 33 seconds off the clock. Capped off by Le'Veon Pickett, who missed a lot of the season with injury. The Aggies are certainly glad to have that man back.
Well, hopefully that 4 minutes and 34 seconds of time gave Matt Coombs and the defensive staff a chance to see what they need to do defensively, because right now this is just a back and forth game. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns like you talked about. Matt Coombs and the defensive staff has got to step up and make a stop.
So Mancera will kick this off for the Aggies. Just a gorgeous November day here on the UC Davis campus. A squib kick this time, still bouncing, gets around Duarte, and he has to dive on it at the 15-yard line. A terrific kick by Isaac Mancera that time. And here comes Corey, the pint-retrieving dog, to pick up the tee.
I tell you, it's going to be a busy day if it's defense optional, which it is so far. It's been 4 touchdowns. Corey's going to get a lot of treats. This is absolutely a perfect executed squib kick by Manceras.
Looking at bouncing Duarte, just decided to jump on it. That's a live ball, so the Aggies could have recovered it. See if the Aggie D can come up with something here. Like you said, Matt Coombs had some time to dial things up. You know, we talked to Matt Coombs and we talked about this run and shoot offense. Would you like to play different variations against it? He would love to, but because of all the injuries on the defensive side, they got to kind of play with the personnel they have. They don't have a lot of options to mix it up against a different offense. 1st and 10 for the Bengals. Cook pulls it, throws a slap pass. It's incomplete. It was touched by Shulikov. He couldn't make the grab at the 25.
First poor throw that time by Cook. He actually had Shulikov on the little in route here. Threw it way too hard and in front. Shulikov kind of sitting in there. Took a shot by Cole Batson. They had good covers on the backside by Drew Cofield and Cole Batson in front.
Cook this year has 9 touchdown passes, but on the negative side has 7 interceptions as well. Handoff, Brooks with room. 20, 25, cuts outside, 1st down, 30, 35, breaking tackles, 40, 45. 5 Aggie men on him before Brooks is finally stopped after a 30-yard run from Dason Brooks, who was just 5 yards shy of 100 yards here in the first quarter.
They caught the Aggies in a blitz. It was a really good call, so all they needed to do was have their center get on Jackson Severs. They ran upfield, they sent their receivers deep, and he had a lot of open field. Didn't even get contact on him until about the 40-yard line. Good pickup by the Bengals.
Brooks, 5 carries, 95 yards. Cook with time across the middle. Oh, and what a hit at the 40-yard line. Cole Batson on a big-time hit against Jonah Burton, who would have caught the ball otherwise. What a stick by Cole Batson.
Great legal play, just leans in with his shoulder. Burton goes over to the sidelines. I'm not surprised. He also plays a little bit of running back for him. The trainer talking to him. This is a really good throw, right on the money. Burton there, great tackle that time. Legal with his shoulder knocked the ball loose.
That's where Cook's got to throw it a little lower so Burton can get to the ground to make the catch. Handoff on the draw, another great open run by Dason Brooks into Aggie territory, and Brooks is over 100 yards rushing already.
You know, they rushed for 160 yards on UNLV, and they ran all over the field against Northern Colorado a couple weeks ago. Everybody thinks run and shoot, that they're going to throw every play. No, Brooks is a very effective running back. Came into the game with 544 yards on the season.
The line play much improved this year for the Bengals. It's showing. Cook lobs it down the side of the field. Has a man. It's caught at the 20-yard line. Terrific throw to Damian Morgan. And the Bengals are on the move again. A 25-yard connection.
This is the same play the Aggies ran on the other side. Faked the wide receiver screen to the left. Hit the wheel route going around the other side. Except this throw was absolutely perfect to Damian Morgan, the junior college transfer.
Bengals in the red zone for the 3rd time. Another draw, handoff. Brooks spinning and getting inside the 15-yard line. Even when the Aggies read it, still good yardage on 1st down from Brooks, and that's going to be the final play of the first quarter from UC Davis Health Stadium. What an offensive explosion we have seen. There's not been a stop in this game yet. Both teams have scored touchdowns on every possession. And when the Bengals come back, they're going to have a chance to tack on 6 more. Jordan Cook off to a red-hot start for the Bengals here at UC Davis. Scott Marsh, Scott Gordon with you. And during the timeout, Scott, we had what's a tradition on the UC Davis campus, the Doxy Derby race. And boy, it was a blowout today, Scott. The camera can't even catch up with the winning dogs.
Secretariat at the Belmont Stakes just by 3-4 quarters. They couldn't even name a second place finisher. That was impressive.
No contest whatsoever. Of course, they will race again on Picnic Day later in the spring. That is the equivalent of the big homecoming here on campus. Second quarter about to begin. The Bengals again knocking on the door for the third time. They lead 14-13. Brooks with the handoff, left side trying to get around the edge, able to do so to the 10, to the 5, and he is in. Touchdown, Idaho State. It's Decent Brooks' day here in Davis so far, and the Bengals lead 20-13, and there is an injured Aggie on the play as well.
They just cannot stop Decent Brooks, and that looks like it's number 95, Jake Williams, down on the field. We'll get a confirmation of that as Coach Plow goes out, but a really good job. All of the motion, all of the energy went to the right side of the formation. They gave it to Brooks on the backside. Watch this. Everything's going right. Give it to him around the left. Good job. The only player who could make a tackle there looked like it was Ty Richardson in his first game back, and missed him, and he went in the end zone again. Brooks, his second touchdown of the day.
Boy, Decent Brooks already with 131 yards on the ground on just 7 carries.
The offense have been incredible. For Idaho State, they had 214 yards in the first half. They've started their drives at their own 25 twice and their own 15, so they've gone 75, 75, and 85 yards.
Jake Williams is up and walking off to the Aggie sideline. That is good news for Aggie fans. Hopefully he'll be okay and able to return in the game. But right now the story is the Aggie defense has absolutely no answers whatsoever for this Bengal offense. They lead 20-13 as Trajan Sinatra comes on for the extra point attempt. And you're wondering the name Sinatra, of course, an iconic name. Well, it turns out his great-great-grandfather is from the same town as the legendary Frank Sinatra. He's had a DNA test done to see if he's related to the great Frank Sinatra. He puts the extra point through, and the Bengals lead this one 21-13. Sinatra fighting Davis to be his kind of town right now. Bengals lead as we go to the break. There's a look at Tim Plow, a little bit concerned right now for the head coach of the Aggies. He can't find a way to stop this Idaho State offense. Tim Plow, second year, what a job he's done. 17-4 as head coach of the Aggies, made that FCS quarterfinal run last year. And Scott, he's got aspirations to get further than that this year.
Yeah, no doubt. The loss at South Dakota, he said it was a pinnacle to him that they have to go to the next step. But think about what they accomplished last year. A win at Eastern Washington, a win at Montana, a home playoff bye, and Tim Plow, it was interesting during the last possession, Scott, he was running down to the defensive side to try to let them know what they were doing. He knows Cody Hawkins really well and what his strategy is.
No doubt. We'll see the Aggies offensively, they haven't been stopped themselves. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. We'll see if they can continue to roll here. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Dixon, the tight end, lines up as a wide receiver to the near side. Trips receivers out to the right. Now the tight ends come back on the line. Pinnock fakes the handoff, steps back, has time, throws down the middle of the field, has Batu at the 45-yard line. It's caught for a 23-yard reception. There is a flag down back near the 30-yard line, and we'll see, maybe that's an ineligible receiver downfield perhaps.
I don't know, they're waving towards the Bengals, so let's see the call. Might be a defensive offsides.
Aggies would certainly decline it if that's the case.
They caught them in a man look. Really good throw by Caden Pinnock.
Holding. Number 7 on the defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
So the penalty against the linebacker, Nathan Reynolds, the preseason All-Big Sky performer. Aggies clearly declined that. The 23-yard reception holds up.
He came out to try to make the play on Mitchell Dixon and held him coming off the line of scrimmage.
Empty backfield. Vargas, the back. They're going to run him on a counter play left side into positive territory. Down to the Bengal 47-yard line. Again, 5 more yards on first down for Carter Vargas. Tackle on the play made by Colin Lewis.
Good physical run that time by Carter Vargas, but some pretty good hitting on the other side by Idaho State. They got a veteran front, some very, very good players up there. Good job here. This is the play before in the hold, and you see
Reynolds.
7 trying to, look at him holding on at the 30-yard line on Mitchell Dixon. So caught him in man, didn't like the look, caught him in the hold.
2nd down and 5. Trips receivers out to the right. Dobbins comes in to the left. They throw out in the flat. Wide open is Vargas. Turns it downfield. 1st down and more. Inside the 35. Turning and upended there. But great design again. They brought Dobbins in, and that left the flat open for Vargas.
Well, they're catching Idaho State in man, so they're running man beaters right there. They send everybody in and just leak Vargas out to the flat, who's a very effective pass catcher as a running back.
13-yard reception. Pinnock again across the middle. Has his man at the 15-yard line. That's Tyler Hennessy, the true freshman, with the grab, and the Aggies are in the red zone for the 3rd time today.
And they're forcing Idaho State to stay in this personnel and stay in this defense, which they've got plays designed for.
6th reception of the year for Tyler Hennessy. Pinnock hands it off. Vargas coming left side, turns it in. He falls forward to the 12-yard line. Another gain of 7 for Carter Vargas, who averages nearly 7 yards per carry as well.
Yeah, the Aggie offense doing everything they need to do. Cameron Willis, one of the best players on the defensive front, as now you see wholesale changes finally for the Idaho State Bengals. UC Davis doing exactly what they wanted to do. They caught them in a man up front defense and just threw man plays against it and have got the ball inside the 10 right now.
Jumbo formation to the left side of the line. Pinnock hands it off for Vargas. Straight down the middle and into the end zone. Carter Vargas untouched. And for the 3rd straight drive, it ends up with a touchdown for UC Davis. 21-19.
And that's Carter Vargas on his second touchdown run of the day. There's been a lot of really well-designed plays. This is just straight run to the A-gap. Great job by the left side. Jace Rodriguez, Zaire Collier. Good job, good design, just punching it right up the middle, and Vargas goes right in for his 2nd touchdown of the day.
That could not have been any easier for UC Davis on that drive. So the Aggies are going to go for the extra point again here. They trail by 2. They'll bring on Ridley to try and make it a 21-20 game. Ridley had the game capper in Greeley last week, hitting a 41-yarder to put it out of reach in the Aggies' 27-16 win. Snap down, kick is up, and it is good. We're early into the 2nd quarter, and the scoreboard points wheel is just turning in both directions right now. Idaho State still on top by 1. Carter Vargas here with his 2nd touchdown run. There's Carter Vargas, his 2nd multi-touchdown game of the year. As you look at the Motherlode Vantage Storage drive stats, 6 plays, 75 yards, took just under 2 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock. The Aggies back to within 1 as we take a look at those conference standings right now. Montana, UC Davis, and Montana State atop the conference, all undefeated. Eastern Washington and Sacramento State, they play today. They're fighting for position in the 2nd tier of the conference. Montana and Montana State in action as well. We'll update you on those scores as soon as we can. As Mancera kicks,
win last night.
They got a huge win on the road at the Walker Sky Dome in Flagstaff, 32-29 in overtime after tying it up on the final play of the game. As Corey's a little lost out there looking for that tee, finds it, gets a big hand.
Might have the scent of the other dogs. It was in the same area.
We might have to put Corey in the concussion protocol. I don't know. Did Corey get hit on the sideline?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and there's a lot of other dogs on the field. I give her a lot of credit for getting those scents away and still being able to pick up the tee.
The Bengals, well, they've been unstoppable offensively. See if the Aggies can come up with anything to stop Jordan Cook and company. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns so far. Cook rifles it deep down the middle, has a man open. That's not only can't grab it over his left shoulder, he was open at the Aggie 40-yard line.
This is another one that Cook's going to want back. He puts a little bit more air under that as not only comes out a little bit hurt, but watch this. They're going right up the seam, catch the Aggies in man coverage. He throws it on a line instead of putting air out in front of it. It's good to see Marquise Bell back. He got injured last week against Northern Colorado. You see the right cast there, soft cast he's actually playing with.
2nd and 10, handoff to Brooks. Limited gain. The Aggies do a nice job on the ground. That time, Trent Carrad with the tackle. Matt Coombs, the first goal is always to stop the run. They clearly haven't done that today so far.
They haven't done it so far, but they did it right there. And this is the longest 3rd down that the Idaho State Bengals have had, so they are against the sticks. And so this is an opportunity for UC Davis to get a stop, getting a break there with a bad throw by Cook and getting the stop on 2nd down.
Yeah, if Cook had thrown that over the right shoulder, it's 6 points. 3rd, and call it 8 for the Bengals. Cook, quick slant pass over through Duarte. It's incomplete, and the first 3 and out of the ball game. Drew Cofield on the coverage, 11 on 11 that time.
Great job by Drew Cofield, but give Jerry Brady, the defensive coordinator, and man who was in Cody Hawkins' wedding, he threw a little bit of a game up front. They went with a little bit of a twist. Cook had to throw it off of his back foot, which he does a lot, and he threw it way too high, way too hard. Would not have been enough for the first down. So the first punt of the game.
Gabe Russo on the field for the Bengals. He's a good one. He averages over 46 yards per punt. Stands inside his 15-yard line. Set the return. It's Tico Riddick for the Aggies. This one off the side of the foot. It's a wobbler. Takes an Idaho State bounce. Fielded at the 32-yard line by Riddick. Makes the first couple of defenders miss. It gets all the way out past the 40-yard line. Terrific return by Tico Riddick. So the Aggie D gets a stop, and the Aggie offense will have good field position when we return. Scott Marsh, Scott Gordon with you. And we're looking at Dan Hawkins, of course, the 8-year head coach with the Aggies. What a job he did here at UC Davis. Now with his son, Cody, the director of player and staff development. And, Scott, he deserves a lot of credit. He built this program into a D1 FCS powerhouse here at UC Davis. Did so many great things in his tenure as the coach of the Aggies.
Yeah, not only getting in the playoffs, but really elevating what the standard would be here at UC Davis.
Little jet sweep. That goes to Batu out to midfield and on the plus side of the field. But, Dan Hawkins, he came in, took over for Ron Gould, and immediately in that 2018 season got the Aggies to the quarterfinals and the playoffs. Keelan Doss, one of the great players in UC Davis history. And, of course, Jake Mayer leading the way. But Dan Hawkins, he built a culture here that has stayed with Tim Plow.
He did. Jim Soker Field, Bob Biggs practice field, and the hire he made, the offensive coordinator, Tim Plow. And then Tim obviously indebted to Dan for that opportunity, and he built the staff around UC Davis alum.
Dan Hawkins played for the great Jim Soker, a fullback here during the 80s. As the pass deflected, and it is intercepted. So Idaho State comes up with the INT. Great diving grab that time was made by one of the secondary members, Jackson Daniels, the cornerback. And so Caden Pinnick, for just the 3rd time this year, has an INT. It's a tough one because it was deflected first in the middle of the field that time by one of the linebackers. It was actually a safety, Decker Hagler, who deflected it to begin with.
Yeah, the Aggies finally make the stop on defense. They come out the other way trying to get it to Simpson. Coverage was good. Ball was knocked away by Daniels, and as you mentioned, then the interception on the tip drill. So now what was a good opportunity for UC Davis with great field position after the return from Tico Riddick. Now the defense is back on the field against this offense that scored on them 3 times already.
Both defenses get their first stops here, and Cody Hawkins talked about it during the week. He said they've got to force some turnovers in this game to have a real chance of winning it. Well, they get one there.
They're -3 in the turnover battle. They've thrown 10 interceptions, had 3 fumbles, so getting one there is huge, as the Aggies are pretty good protecting the football.
1st and 10 Bengals, handoff Brooks, pushing the pile forward out to the 47-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 for Dason Brooks, who has amassed over 135 yards of rushing here in the first half.
He had 160 against Northern Colorado in their biggest conference win, their only conference win this season, and he's on pace to do even more damage today.
2nd down and 5. Cook, handoff again for Brooks. Trying to carry Cole Batson to a 1st down, and he does. Brooks with another 6-yard run.
Yeah, he's a house. 5'11", 228 out of Chandler, Arizona. A real hotbed for high school football, where Brock Purdy's from in that area. Great job. This contact is made at the 50, right at the A in the middle of the field. And Brooks takes Cole Basson for about 3 more yards to pick up the first down.
His biggest rushing game in his career is 161 yards. He may have that by halftime here today. 1st and 10. Cook the throw with time across the middle. It's incomplete. Good coverage in the secondary by Drew Cofield, and the intended receiver was Nunnally.
Actually, that was Marquise
It was
Bell.
Marquise
Look at
Bell.
that. I only know that,
You
Scott,
can't miss
because of
the
the
cast.
glove on the right side. Good job. They run a little curl route right at the sticks. Nunnally threw it on time, but Marquise Bell did a nice job of coming up and making the stop.
Yeah, Marquise Bell has really come on and played well for the Aggies in the secondary. Wasn't sure he'd play a lot this year, but with the injuries back there, he's been forced to. Cook on 2nd down, left side pass, caught turning down the sideline after making the grab is Ian Duarte, and that'll be good enough for a Bengal first down.
Really well-designed play and an excellent throw that time by Cook. They've got Duarte lined up on Jaden Stanley. Stanley is great at supporting the run and a good pass catcher, but this ball is just perfectly thrown low and away where only he could get it. Good throw, knows where the first down is. First down, Idaho State.
Cook now, 11 of 18 for over 100 yards throwing the football. Bengals on the march, leading by 1. Cook pulls it, slant pass, and it's picked off. The Aggies step in front of it. Drew Cofield gets ahead of Shulikov, and the turnover is returned by UC Davis.
Drew Cofield, the true freshman, with his 2nd interception of the season. He actually read this perfectly, and I'll tell you what, Shulikov for Idaho State deserves a little bit of the blame for this. He's a little lackadaisical on the slant route. Cook's looking that way the whole way on the RPO, and Cofield does a great job of just cutting in front of Shulikov. Don't worry about the size difference. Drew Cofield, another interception this season.
Cofield, one of 2 freshmen to start every game at cornerback. Caleb Ricks, who the Aggies will play next at Idaho's the other one. And according to all the coaches, Cofield, he's a freshman, but he plays like a 6th-year senior, a great student of the game, studies film, looks at split tendencies, a tremendous competitor. He just jumped the route that time and made a big play for the Aggie defense. 1st and 10, UC Davis, pinning in the pocket. Under tremendous pressure, he's going to be wrapped up and sacked. Swarmed on both directions that time by the Bengal D-line.
Yeah, they were hoping to get a little bit more time on the play action, Scott, but the Bengals brought some pressure. Their defensive coordinator, Grant Duff, in his first year, he came over from Weber State, and they brought a ton of pressure. The Aggies only had 2 receivers in the route, and they were both running deep routes. Caden Pinnock unable to get rid of the ball, and the sack goes for 6 yards, bringing up a 2nd and 16.
It was Cameron Willis, the senior out of Houston, Texas, who gets credited with that. Big man, he squats over 750 pounds, Scott. 2nd and long, screen pass for Simpson, the tight end. Minimal yardage out back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll set up 3rd and 10.
Good call that time by Tim Plow. You're not going to get it all back right away, so just try to make a 3rd and manageable. Hopefully Simpson can break a tackle. That's his 3rd reception of the game. A little screen play out to the side. But I tell you what, this Idaho State Bengal defense is aggressive. This is a 3rd down opportunity for them to force the Aggies into their first punt of the day.
Pinnock deep in the pocket. Nowhere to throw, pulls it down, tripped up. It won't be a sack, but it'll act just the same. A yard gain for Pinnock, and now the Aggies will have to punt for the first time today.
Yeah, Pinnock looks a little rusty. As you pointed out, he has not played in 3 weeks. He was thinking about running, a little indecisive. If he would have just stepped up in the pocket and had an opportunity and found a lane to throw, he had Sam Batu wide open at the first down marker. Nonetheless, he picks up just a yard. And off the interception, the Aggies are unable to do anything, and they punt. So their last 2 possessions for UC Davis, they've had an interception and now a punt.
Dylan Morrow comes on. He's averaging 43 yards per punt. Ingles it right side, and it's blocked! It's blocked. The Bengals pick it up, and they're going to have a 6 the other way. A blocked punt leads to a touchdown for the Bengals. Picking it up and running it in for the touchdown was the cornerback, Trey Shorty, and it's 27-20. More special teams problems for the Aggs.
And another one, a block on an extra point, and then this time just not doing a great job of protecting the what they call PP, punter protector. doesn't do a good job, and they try to go a little bit of rugby on the outside. They rush 2, and they come up and actually making the great block. Go ahead, you got your finger on it, Scott.
Isaiah Cook, there's multiple numbers here, and it was Aiden Garcia, who's another 22, who picked it up, not Trey Shorty, who's 22 as well. Extra point attempt up and good from Sinatra. And the Bengals making sweet music here in UC Davis right now, leading 28-20.
I see what you did there, but I tell you what, it's really been the special teams play. You know, they don't get hurt on the turnover. They do a good job defensively, get some pressure up the field, force the Aggies to punt. And I tell you, one of the things that Dan Hawkins and Cody were known for were special teams. They really focused on that a lot in practice, and they blocked an extra point, they blocked a punt, and they focus a lot when they watch tape on that.
Well, Dan, when he was head coach here at UC Davis, spent most of his time with the special teams. And obviously it's a third of the game, and you can see the Bengals have come in with a game plan there, and that's the difference in this game. The 8-point difference is all on special teams right now. So Idaho State trying to get a signature win in the Big Sky. You know, they've been close many times here, Scotty. They had a great chance to beat Montana at home. Some thought they should have won that game. They lost 42-38 to the Grizz. Opening week, they lost against Dan Mullins and UNLV 38-31, a game they led late, and they lost at FBS New Mexico 32-22. So they've had some real opportunities to have a real signature season, and they're trying to get a big win here on the road against UC Davis.
And at New Mexico, they had an opportunity. They were tied going into the fourth quarter.
Vargas will fair catch this one off the kickoff from Mason Lindbergh. And we'll see if the Aggies can regroup. So the Bengals with the momentum here in Davis midway through the second quarter.
Very important drive. Aggies trail 28-20. They get the ball to start the second half. They're able to eat up some clock, get the ball in the end zone, come out. This is where they want to control the middle. We're not quite to the middle 4 yet, but they need to get some first downs and run some clock.
And for the Aggies, first time they had a blocked punt that was returned for a touchdown since Sacramento State in 2015. So 10 years apart. First down handoff on the counter to Carter Vargas. Out to the 30 to the 35, and the scrum will get Vargas a first down out to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Mike Lindsey's the one who makes the tackle, but not before Carter Vargas, and they go counter into the boundary, short side of the field. Lead block that time, again by Mitchell Dixon, doing a great job. You know, the tight end, who they say is the leader on the team captain, is their leader blocking as a tight end as well.
Pinnock throws out in the flat for Dobbins. Getting upfield past the 40, has a first down into positive territory to the Bengal 47-yard line. Excellent run after the catch by Stacey Dobbins, good for 17 yards. And that was one of the keys for Paul Shelton, offensive coordinator for the Aggies, was they wanted 100 yards after the catch.
And the reason they got extra yardage there is the other tight end, Ian Simpson, is the lead blocker there going down. Great job of accelerating after the catch, but you'll see zero down the field, absolutely. And Sam Batu really pushing the corners away.
So the Aggies trying to respond after the blocked punt returned for a touchdown. Pinnock's going to roll out right side. He's under pressure, eludes one defender. He's going to pull it down and run for it, and gets out of bounds smartly after gaining a few yards to the Bengal 43.
A play the Aggies put in last year where they fake it to the running back, send somebody deep, and have one of the receivers in the curl route. It was well defensed, and that's where the athleticism of Caden Pinnock, just roll out, pick up 4 yards, sprint out of bounds. And Caden 11 for 12, 136 yards. So he hasn't really thrown an incompletion yet. It's all gone to somewhere. His interception was a tip drill, but responding well, and he's a resilient young man. We've heard that from both Coach Tim Plow and Paul Shelton.
Again, did not play last week, health reasons. Back for the Aggies, the 3-time Big Sky Offensive Player of the Week. Handoff Vargas inside the 40, on his feet, comes back left side, twisting, turning, diving forward, and has the first down.
Aggies get a little bit of a break here. Carter Vargas is a little excited right before this happens, but he makes his shift. What a great run in terms of breaking tackles, and gets it up here. Right before him, he shifts a little bit. Nonetheless, play's supposed to go right, he takes it left.
Pinnock pump fakes, throws out, has his man. That is Vargas running down the far sideline inside the 30. Tackled before going out of bounds at the 28, a gain of 7, but Vargas is down on the play. And you hate to see that. The Aggies only have 2 running backs, as Mateo Perez has been out for the season. And it's been Vargas along with Jordan Fisher who have carried the load for the Aggies.
And they've done a great job. This is a great check down throw this time to Vargas. As Pennick's looking down the field, Vargas is his check down, nothing there. This is a really smart play. They throw it out to him. It's going to go upfield. A one-on-one play, just gets taken out of bounds. Looks like he might have got rolled up on one of his ankles. So here he comes. He's getting a little bit of help coming across the field. And this will put pressure on the Aggies. Obviously, they have Jordan Fisher. I saw Kai Asia, who was a high school teammate at Del Oro High School with Caden Pennick. He's the next one up on the depth chart. No doubt we'll probably see a little bit of him today.
Yeah, Nathan Reynolds made that tackle. Didn't seem anything out of the ordinary, but the way that Vargas is walking right now, you got to think he's going to be out for a little while in this game at least. Gingerly putting pressure on that left foot. One more look at it here.
I think, Scott, this happens at the end. It's a very clean hit. They're just trying to throw him down as he's going out of bounds, but watch the ankle as he's getting thrown to the ground.
I wonder if it was on his cut, not even on the tackle. Looked like he pulled up when he planted on that left foot.
Well, nonetheless, the Aggies have Jordan Fisher in there now, but Vargas has got 2 touchdowns on the game. That is a real shot against the Aggie offense.
That's a big blow for the Aggies. Carter Vargas, the freshman, has played so well for UC Davis. He heads into the medical tent. 2nd and 3. Fisher on the field for the Aggies in the backfield. They're going to run the reverse, the flea flicker. The Pennick throws out in the flat for the screen pass to Batu. Turns it downfield to the 20, to the 15, to the 10-yard line before going out of bounds. And Batu throwing a shot after the play as well. We heard they might try that play. They've had it in their book for several weeks. They finally found a spot on the field. They liked it. A lot of movement there. Wasn't sure if it was going to be successful at first, but it ended up being so.
Look at the convoy that they have set up this time, Scott. You should just call this play the convoy. Look at, they throws it back here. This is almost like a pregame huddle. There are 6 people over there to block 1 guy. Could you imagine being the one sole defender 1-on-6? Coach, what are we doing here?
It was a nice play by the safety, Rylan Leathers, to make a tackle against all those blockers. And here comes a reverse. Zach Jones with it, trying to get around the edge. The speed burner to the 10, to the 5, and he's in untouched. Touchdown, UC Davis. Zach Jones turned on the afterburners, and nobody was going to catch that man. It's 28-26.
Yeah, Bronson Childs is going to get a lot of grief on the film session. He shouldn't, because Zach Jones is just a speedster, and he gets in. It's going to go as a passing touchdown, but they run a little bit. No, it's a rushing one, excuse me, a little option. He cuts in between, and he just runs right away from Bronson Childs. Good job of blocking downfield by Lavielle Pickett. And the Aggies have answered.
So the Aggies will go for 1 again as Ridley comes on to make it 28-27. Low snap, kick up, and it's good. Nice job that time by Dylan Morrow after a low snap by Joseph Adema. They get it down for Ridley to put it up and in. 28-27 the score, 3:26 left to go until halftime. And again, it's one of these games you feel like the last team with the ball might win this one today.
Yeah, and the other thing you got to look at is as we take a look at the Motherlode Van and scoring drives, the Aggies go 7 plays, 75 yards, end with Zach Jones on the 11-yard rushing touchdown. Jones has done a good job today. The Aggies have had Carter Vargas score twice, Scott, Lavielle Pickett on the reception, and then Zach Jones. It's still 28-27. The difference in the game, special teams right now, the blocked extra point and the blocked punt for a touchdown for Idaho State.
Jones, his 5th touchdown of the year, his 2nd rushing touchdown. And again, that's an unfair race that time for the Idaho State defense as trying to catch up.
Childs. That's Bronson
Childs had no chance whatsoever.
That's going to be a fun film session tomorrow. Bronson, what were you thinking here? They freeze it, and then Zach just takes off.
They're not going to show that in the film session, I don't think.
I do think that comes up. They have fun with things like that.
I don't know if that'll be a lot of fun for Bronson Childs. If they win, maybe. It'll be Mancera to kick this one off. Both teams with 4 touchdowns already here in the first half. High end over end kick, 3 yards into the end zone, and taking a knee is Duarte. So now the Aggies try to get the stop here. They'll get the ball to start the second half.
Critical drive right here for Idaho State. They had an interception and a punt on their last 2 offensive possessions, but then they blocked the punt to get some points. So this could be one of their last drives of the first half, knowing the Aggies start off for the second half. Let's see what they can do offensively.
So far in this game, over 535 yards of offense. Both teams have had great game plans on the offensive side. Cook first down, hands off again on the draw. Brooks again with room near a first down. Trying to punch it out was Riddick. Brooks able to hold on to it. Dason Brooks over 150 yards rushing here in the first half, nearing his career high.
They really like this play, this little speed draw that they run. It's worked out very well for them. They get a lot of pressure on the Aggie secondary.
Brooks again will have a first down on second down, out to the 38-yard line.
If you're the Bengals, what you want to do is eat up all the time that you can and score with literally nothing left, knowing that UC Davis has 3 timeouts and gets the ball to start the second half.
Aggies show 2 timeouts left.
2 timeouts, excuse me. They called one earlier down in the red zone. You're right, when they tried to settle their offense down.
1st and 10, Bengals, just inside their 40-yard line. Cook, with time again, throws out left side, pass caught Nunnally, just steps out of bounds. He's going to be a yard shy of the first down.
That's on him that time on the route. You got to know where the sticks are. They put 2 receivers in the route. One goes deep, one just stops right there. It's a very good play, good design. Marquise Bell, the boundary corner, knocks him out of bounds. 2nd and 1.
Nunnally's 4th grab of the ball game. 2nd and short. Cook, quick drop, slant pass, caught first down, breaking a tackle and getting all the way down to the Aggie 43-yard line is Damian Morgan. That's going to take us to the 2-minute timeout. 1:58 left to go until halftime. Idaho State with the lead, trying to put more points on the board. Scott Marsh, Scott Gordon with you. 2-minute timeout. Not only is it Parents and Family Weekend, but it's also High School Band Day here at UC Davis Health Stadium. They're going to be performing at the half. Very cool opportunity for them. Also coming up at the half, brought to you by Northern and Quest Resort and Casino. We're going to have Dr. Brandy Waite, who is the medical director of the UC Davis Health Sports Medicine Clinic. We'll have your first half stats. And Scott, we're going to take all halftime going through the first half highlights.
Highlights could, we might have to slow play those. I mean, a lot of scoring on both sides.
Cook across the middle overthrows the intended receiver, Morgan. On the afternoon, Cook now 12 of 21, 132 yards, has a touchdown and an interception. And you see the good that Cook has, and then that's a throw he should make.
Well, there's a couple throws. The one deep ball that could have been a touchdown if he throws it with a little bit of air. He's a big quarterback, 6'4", 230. And that time, if he just throws it down underneath, they get a good 6 or 7 yard pickup. Sometimes can throw the ball too hard.
2nd down and 10. Cook, the throw, slant pass again just behind the intended receiver, Nunnally. And it'll bring up 3rd and 10, Coalfield with the coverage.
The problem with both of those incompletions is the Aggies don't have to burn any timeouts with 2. They're 2 quick throws, both that could have been completed and both not on target by Jordan Cook.
So we'll see if Idaho State goes for maybe a 5 to 7 yard play here again to try and set up a 4th and manageable and maybe go for it on this part of the field. It's 3rd and 10 from the Aggie 44-yard line. Trips receivers to the right. Cook looks left, rifles, throws, pass caught, and it will be in that range of 8 yards to Nunnally. It sets up a 4th and short, and I'm sure Cody Hawkins will go for it.
Yeah, no doubt, especially there because they got it all the way down to the 36. This is a really good, we talked about missing throws. This is a really good throw. See that little roll left? Throws it to Nunnally. That's his 5th catch of the game.
Here we go, clock rolling, under 1:30 till halftime. 4th and 2. Brooks clears the backfield.
Might try to get the Aggies to jump and then call timeout with 1 second on the play clock.
Play clock's at 13, so still plenty of time for the Bengals. Crowd on its feet here at UC Davis Health Stadium. Duarte in motion. Play clock down to 2, and you're right, Cody Hawkins is going to take a timeout with 1 second left on the clock. Good job by the Aggie defense not to jump.
Smart. You know, you have 3 timeouts, Scott. So first thing you try to do is try to get him to jump, try to get a freebie. If you don't, you call timeout, and then you got some options now. The ball's at the 36. Sinatra's long on the season is a 56-yarder, but you got to think if you're Cody Hawkins, field goals are not going to win this game. Touchdowns are going to be what they need. No surprise all. They've been very effective running the ball, picking up 3 or 4 yards when they need to, throwing the ball when they need to. So no doubt they're going to go for it here, but I understand the strategy, what they tried to do before. Is there you see Dan Hawkins. He's in an advisory role, but still talking to the refs about his time at head coach at Boise State, Colorado, and, of course, UC Davis.
No doubt did a lot of that on the Aggies sideline in his 8 years. What a great job he did as head man for the Aggies. 4th and short, and despite how good Sinatra is, the field goal kicker, 3-time Big Sky Special Team Player of the Week, the Bengals are going to go for it here. Nunnally in motion. The handoff, Brooks straight up the middle. The Aggies stuffed that pretty good. Brooks' second effort, did he get there? I don't think so. No, he's going to be a yard short, and the Aggies hold on 4th down.
Oh, that's a huge defensive stop by UC Davis. A great job on the backside of getting pressure. Looked like Jacob Syke might have snuck in on the backside. They try to run the football on the Aggies. They've been very effective with it all along, and they cut up, and it looks like, no, that's Jackson Severs. Great job of coming up and making a stop
now,
there.
Brooks fell forward. It looks like they stopped the whistle with Brooks a yard shy, but Brooks fell forward, but they called that play dead already. That's an interesting decision.
Whistle was blown. They said forward progress was stopped, and that's not something that they can review or challenge if forward progress is stopped. So the Aggies will take over. 2 timeouts, a minute to go.
They've got plenty of time to get in Hunter Ridley range to try and take their first lead of the contest. Dobbins in motion. Pinnock will throw, rolls out to the near side. He's going to pull down and run with it. He gets tripped up before he gets to the sideline, the 40-yard line, so the clock will continue to move. 45 seconds and counting. Will the Aggies use one of their 2 timeouts? They won't. Pinnock did not do a good job of getting to the sideline right there.
Well, Jordan Fisher was wide open, and the flat would have picked up 10 yards and run out of bounds.
Yeah, that took too many seconds off the clock. They're going to hand off with Fisher now. He's trying to get the first down. He does. That will stop the clock with 30 seconds left. So the Aggies will hurry to the line. They do not have to use a timeout here. Clock will resume once they set the ball. 29 seconds, clock rolling now. 26 in counting. Pinnock the throw. Backside pressure, gets it out near side. Pass caught down the sideline is Jay Fish, and he gets out of bounds at the Bengal 37-yard line. 18 seconds left. The Aggies still have 2 timeouts. They got plenty of time to do whatever they want now.
Jordan Fisher can accelerate so well after making the catch. He came into this game with 13 catches. He got all the way down the field, got 10 more yards than I thought he was going to get, and then got out of bounds.
So the Aggies can run any play with those 2 timeouts. Pinnock, deep drop, winds up across the middle. Pass caught, getting down is Dobbins. It's a first down. Clock stops at 13 seconds, and Tim Plow's going to take one of those 2 remaining timeouts.
Beautiful throw this time by Caden Pinnock.
So UC Davis still with a timeout in 13 seconds. They're thinking 6 still.
Great pass protection this time. Look at how much time they give Caden Pinnock. 1-1,000, 2-1,000, 3-1,000. He's able to throw in rhythm. Great job of finding a spot in the zone by Stacey Dobbins. Good throw where only his receiver could make the catch.
Pinnock still hasn't had a pass drop. 15 completions, the other one an interception. He comes into the game a PE ratio of 181.1, third in the nation. He completes nearly 70% of his passes. He's had an incredible freshman season, and he's a lead candidate to win that Jerry Rice Award.
17 touchdowns against just 3 interceptions. And Scott, it started against Cal Poly, where in the rivalry game he completed over 80% of his passes. Then again, came out the next week in a home game against Northern Arizona, completed over 80% of his passes. And you're seeing his athleticism here. He just got to make smart decisions with only 13 seconds to go.
Got to think the Aggies are going to throw for the end zone here. They do have a timeout. They don't have to. But you got to think they're going to take a shot at least with 13 seconds left to go in the half. Pinnock Looking right, comes back left's going to pull it down, run with it, and get out of bounds inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 7 seconds left in the half. They can still run a play with the timeout, but they got to be really cognizant of the clock.
Grant Duff, the defensive coordinator for Idaho State, made an adjustment. They went into quarters coverage away from man, and they called a good play against man. Good job of Caden Pinnock getting upfield and getting out of bounds.
So the Aggies have to be careful here not to let 7 seconds go off the clock. They've got a 3-point attempt for sure for Hunter Ridley here. See if they go for the end zone with 1 timeout left. Pinnock has got to get rid of it. He's attacked from behind. He fumbles the football, gets it back. 2 seconds on the clock, 1 on the clock. Did the Aggies get a timeout before the halftime expired?
Bengals recovered.
Bengals got it, okay.
So that's the end of the half.
It is the end of the half. You're absolutely right. I thought Pinnock jumped on it initially, but it is recovered by Idaho State. So the Aggies went for 6, and they come up with nothing.
A little bit aggressive there. That was a slow developing play. And this is going to be the end of the half because there's zeros on the clock. But let's take a look at the replay, Scott. This is 1-1000, 2-1000. It's too slow in its development. They make a break on the right side. Great job by Cameron Willis. Knocks it loose. And
scooping
then was recovered. Bronson Childs.
Yep.
We said that in tandem.
And that is going to be the end of the first half. So Pinnock
fumble is confirmed. There is 1 second left in the half. Game clock operator, set the game clock to 1 second. Idaho State's ball, first down.
So they did rule 1 second left, and it'll be a victory formation for the Bengals. They'll have to run a play here with 1 tick on the clock. So the Aggies, poor clock management there. They had a sure 3 to take a lead going in to halftime, and just a little uncertainty that time.
And poor ball protection now twice. I mean, Caden Pinnock's got to have that in his head that if nothing's there, roll it out, throw it out of bounds, and then they get an opportunity to kick the field goal. They go all the way down the field to the 20, and they're going to get no points out of this.
So Pinnock with 2 turnovers here in the first half. Well, it's not a victory formation. I don't know if they'll try a Hail Mary. Yeah, they're just going to hand off. That's the second back. They'll get the carry. That is Carson Sudbury, runs out of bounds, and now the first half is over. So Idaho State gets a huge turnover, and they keep in the lead. Bengals 28, Aggies 27, as we go to the halftime show next. Halftime here at UC Davis Health Stadium. Idaho State leading UC Davis 28-27. You know it's Halloween weekend, Scott. And right now, Idaho State's trying to play the role of spoiler. They're in the orange uniforms, right? They're spooking out this UC Davis Health crowd.
Yeah, they came in the orange and black, and we know Coach Hawkins sometimes dresses up for Halloween, but I tell you right now, they have done a lot of things. Special teams making plays. Offense looked very good to start things off, and their defense actually making a critical stop at the end of the first half.
All right, let's take a look at this first half highlights, Scotty.
Well, there'll be a lot of them here, so sit down and look. First drive of the game, Idaho State went pass, and then they went down to Dason Brooks, 57 yards to the house. UC Davis responds. Carter Vargas taking it in. That was a 4th down, but a huge play. The Bengals blocked the extra point on their next possession. They throw a touchdown pass to Nunnally, little slant pattern underneath. So they go ahead. Aggies respond to Lavielle Pickett, so now it's 14-13. And then they go right back to Brooks on the outside, breaks the tackle, gets in there. But again, the Aggies respond. Carter Vargas, who does have 2 touchdowns, but did leave the game with the injury. Both quarterbacks have had a little bit of turnover problem. The 3rd interception of the year for Caden Pinnock right there. And then this one, Drew Cofield coming back the other way, intercepting Cook. But the difference in the game has been the special teams. They have the blocked extra point, and then the Bengals go ahead, block the punt, take it into the end zone, and that's where we are right now. The Aggies did come back when it was 28-20. This is Zach Jones taking it in, but that's where we stand right now, 28-27, Scott.
Yeah, the Aggies would like to have had that field goal attempt by Hunter Ridley at the end of the half, but a Pinnock fumble did not allow that. As we look at the stats, just a massive amount of yards, 631 yards combined. The red zone numbers gaudy, especially for Davis, even though they didn't convert the last time out. Turnovers, though, in the favor of the Bengals. Those halftime stats being brought to you by the Sacramento Marriott Rancho Cordova.
And the two stats that jump out on the page, not only the yardage, but the red zone, 2 for 2 for the Idaho State Bengals. The Aggies missing, they're only 4 for 5, and the turnovers, 2 turnovers to 1, and that's where we stand right now, 28-27. Idaho State on the road looking for the upset.
No doubt, looking for a signature win and to try and give the Aggies their first loss of the year at home and in the Big Sky. Second half coming your way next from UC Davis. UC Davis won the coin toss, they deferred, so they get the ball to start this second half. Now Carter Vargas is out for the remainder of the game. It doesn't always only affect the backfield, but he won't be returning kicks as well. So they have Zach Jones along with Scott Nixon back to return. There's a look at Tim Plow, obviously trying to figure things out as his defense has given up over 350 yards in the first half. There's a look at Zach Jones, who will be the return man for the Aggies here. Lindbergh kicks it away, high end over end, and a fair catch signaled for at the 4-yard line by Jones. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Both quarterbacks prolific in the first half. Both Pinnock and Jordan Cook have put up some big-time numbers, Scott.
Statistically speaking, they both played fantastic, but they both had some mental lapses. Obviously, Kenny Pinnock, 15 for 16. You can't ask for more than that. 191 yards. He does have the interception and the fumble, though, the 2 turnovers on the other side. Jordan Cook doing a pretty good job himself, 140 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And let's see what Tim Plow and Paul Shelton dialed up in the locker room as they start the second half.
Jordan Fisher, really the only back the Aggies have here in the second half. Kai Asia would be the reserve, but rarely used here for the Aggies. He has 4 carries this season.
Does travel and plays a lot on special teams. Did see him getting some practice carries on the sideline, but I think you're going to see a heavy dose of Jordan Fisher.
1st and 10 for the Aggies from the 25-yard line. It'll be Dobbins going out to the left. Trips receivers to the left side. Long play count. They're going to hand off on 1st down to Fisher, right side with it. Again, good patience, just waiting at the line for the seam to open. Gets out to the 30-yard line. Jordan Fisher in the first half had 8 carries for 58 yards.
Right on that 7 yards a carry average that he has coming into the game. Good job on 1st down there, picking up 6 yards. He's just waiting for this to seal. They pull Eli Simonson, the game tackle, gets a great block, allowing him to get upfield for the 6 yards.
Aggies have never led in this game. In motion, the tight end, Ian Simpson. They fake the handoff. Pinnock with it, lets it go right side. Illa stretch. There's a great throw down to the 35-yard line to Batu. Just the streak pattern down the left side, and Pinnock with his best throw of the day right there.
That's one of his best throws of the year, from the right hash all the way to the outside of the numbers on a frozen rope. 1 arm strength, great connection, great play call.
No doubt. It was a 35-yard reception from Pinnock to Batu. 1st down carry to Fisher. That's a couple of yards.
Great design going back to the Pinnock throw. They do a lot of stuff with their tight ends, and I mean, there's not a lot of room here. He hits Sam Batu in stride. Batu extending the hands. Great pickup. Second play of the second half. Pinnock to Sam Batu. Good pickup.
It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Aggies. Heavy formation to the left. Handoff, Fisher comes right side with it, turns it back in inside the 25 and has a 1st down to the 23-yard line. Tackle on the play made by Rylan Leathers, the safety, but another great run from Jay Fish.
And you saw they put all the jumbo package to the left side, and then they brought it back right. Great design.
Pinnock across the middle, ball's deflected, it's caught by Fisher, going back behind with his left hand and getting down to the 16-yard line, gain of 8. Great catch after the deflection by Jordan Fisher.
And Cody Hawkins is apoplectically mad at the side judge right there. And
over what?
Don't know what, but
handoff Fisher, he'll have a 1st down. So it's Jordan Fisher here in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Usually the coaches have to stay within the 30s. He went sprinting all the way down to Yale. Nonetheless, the Aggies are driving. It's been a very good drive and very Jordan Fisher heavy.
Jordan Fisher, who wasn't really known as a receiving back out of the backfield, has done a great job this year catching the football. That was his 14th reception of the year. Aggies in the red zone for the 6th time already today. They've scored on
5, yeah.
Scored on 4 occasions here. 1st and 10. Simpson again in motion to the left side. They run the counter back to the right. Fisher with it, breaking the initial tackle, getting outside, almost busted it for a touchdown. It was a touchdown-saving tackle that time by Jaden Bell.
Yeah, he broke it. Jordan Fisher broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Watch this as he's going through, gets away from one. It's not an easy one to get away from either. And then Bell making the touchdown-saving stop.
The Aggies looking for their first lead of the game here. Trailing 28-27. It's second down and 4. The Aggies can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Terps receivers out to the left. Here comes Simpson in motion to the right. They're going to run the counter. No, they'll keep the quarterback keeper to Pinnock, trying to get around the edge, unable to do so. Hit late out of bounds. No flag thrown. But Pinnock does have a first down. It's going to be first and goal, I believe. We'll see where the mark comes. Maybe he's going to be marked just shy.
Looks like they're going to mark him 1 yard short here. Predetermined quarterback run the whole way.
How is that not a late hit afterwards? Take another look at this one. Pinnock, he's 2 steps out of bounds, and he's pushed to the ground. Now they're trying to keep him up, but still, that's probably a late hit by Ryan Leathers, isn't it? Wasn't called. It'll be 3rd and a yard. No doubt 2-down territory for the Aggies here. It's the heavy package. Pinnock in the pistol, gives off Fisher, and he's clipped for a loss. Oh, great job by the Bengal defense. Able to get through that monster offensive line that time. Nathan Reynolds with a great job from his backer position. And because of the loss, Tim Plow's going to go for the field goal attempt here.
For 2 reasons. Carter Vargas isn't in. He's their short yardage rusher, so they had to go with Fisher, and then they lost yardage, so they're going to kick this one with Hunter Ridley. So this would be a win for the Bengals if they're able to hold the Aggies to just this field goal.
I'm still surprised they're kicking 3 here. They went for it on 4th and 4 early in the first half, scored a touchdown. This time the snap down, kick is up, and it is good. So the Aggies do have their first lead of the game. Hunter Ridley connecting on the field goal, and the Aggies leading this one 30-28. During the timeout, you love to see it and you hate to see it. There's Rex Connors being honored, the all-time leading tackler in UC Davis history, but he has that left leg walking cast on, being honored as he should. The All-American getting hurt earlier in the year during the Weber State game. He's out for the remainder of the season. The Aggies could dearly use him today in a dogfight, leading 30-28.
You know what's amazing, Scott? We get those weekly packages of who's making plays and whatnot. He's still the leading tackler for the Aggies, and he hasn't played in the last 3 weeks.
No doubt. 313 career tackles, passing Chris Spraker earlier in the season. As a fair catch by Duarte. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25. And I didn't use dogfight as a pun, talking about the game today.
You had the whole Frank Sinatra, you know, is he doing it my way? I mean, you had a couple other ones, you know, my kind of town. There's this Tim Plow looking at his play sheet, got down, got the field goal, but now it's going to be up to Matt Coombs. And I'll tell you what, I think one of the reasons they kicked the field goal is they lost the yards, but the second one is the last 3 times Idaho State had the ball, they did not score. The defense has found something out on what they like to do defensively.
It's tough when you get inside the 10 and only come up with 3. I mean, you almost feel like that's a victory for the Bengals. 1st and 10 for Idaho State. Cook hands off to Brooks, breaks a tackle to the 30. Leg tackled at the 32, a 7-yard gain. Tackle by Cole Batson. So Brooks now 165 yards. That is a career high for Dason Brooks.
With plenty of time to go, over 9 minutes in the 3rd quarter and the whole second half. I mean, we talked about their ability to throw the football. It's really been Brooks on the ground.
Yeah, he came up limping a little bit. We'll see. He stays in the game. He gets the handoff again. Tackled from behind, shy of the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and short. Rain Mayo, the big nose tackle for the Aggies, making that play.
You know, I think you're onto something, Scott, because he did not have the same level of acceleration he's had in the last couple of times they've given him the ball.
One more time for Brooks, has a first down and more, out past the 40 and up to the 43-yard line. So whether he is feeling the effects of the hit from a couple of plays ago or not, able to rumble for 9 yards there, and he is going to come out of the game.
He is running with a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up there, but you show how athletic the former linebacker is, picks up the first down, back-to-back running plays. Good job there by Brooks, as you mentioned, over 170 yards now on a career day with plenty of game left to go.
Carson Sudbury in. So the Aggies have lost Carter Vargas. We'll see about Dason Brooks and his ability to return in this one. 1st and 10. Cook throws out pass caught, curling, and getting up to midfield is Nunnally. It'll be a gain of 7. So Zion Nunnally in this contest for the Bengals has his 6th reception. Has a touchdown as well.
Great throw. Washington State transfer, runs a good route. Was on the field side. They gave him a bunch of room. They're just looking to get 6-7 yards. They pick up 7, and a really good throw by Jordan Cook off of his back foot from the far hash to the numbers.
So Sudbury remains on the field on 2nd and 3. He gets the handoff, just pushing the pile downfield. And the Aggies resist a yard shy of the line to gain.
No doubt Sudbury, obviously a very capable back, but really they want to go with Brooks if they can, and he is not checked back into the game yet, and that would be a big loss for this Bengal offense.
So 3rd and 1 at the middle of the field. It's the run and shoot offense here. You've got trips receivers out to the right, lone receiver to the left. No tight ends out on the field for the Bengals. Cook with time in the pocket across the middle. Pass caught, 1st down, Nunnally all the way down to the Aggie 35-yard line. Cole Batson with the tackle, but that'll move the chains on a 14-yard connection.
Well, there's no tight ends on the field, Scott, because there's no tight ends on the roster.
Exactly.
So they went 3 receivers left. He was going right the whole way. Looks the safety off. They run a deep in cut, one-on-one with Ty Richardson. Nunnally makes the catch. Really good throw. Good job with Cook with his eyes moving the safety over. 1st down for the Bengals.
Cook the throw on 1st down. Winds up, throws deep down the far side of the field. Man-to-man coverage, a one-handed catch. Oh, what a grab. Touchdown, Idaho State. That's Mike Shulikoff with an unbelievable catch. And Idaho State goes back on top.
Well, the high jumper here didn't even need to use his leaps to get it. Drew Cofield, the outstanding defensive back, is running stride for stride with him. And I tell you what, Jordan Cook throws a perfect ball and a phenomenal catch by Mike Shulikoff, who we featured in the open. What a catch with one hand.
Just an incredible grab. The Bengals on top 34-30 as Sinatra comes on to make it a 5-point game. Snap down, kick is up. Start spreading the news. Idaho State has come to play today as the Bengals on top of the Aggies 35-30 here at UC Davis Health Stadium. We'll take another look at one of the best plays of the season, an incredible catch by Mike Shulikoff off an incredible throw by Jordan Cook to give the Bengals the lead back. Scott, what a one-handed grab.
Well, and he put some air underneath it. You talk about having soft hands and knowing where you are on the field. He looked it all the way in, made the catch, and it's hard to believe a young man like that was left off a scholarship roster for 2 years.
Zach Jones is going to fair catch it again. And again, without Carter Vargas set the return, the Aggies limited on their special teams. We go to the break. Bengals with the lead. Let's take a look at some of the other scores going on in the Big Sky right now. Last night, Idaho kicking a field goal to tie it up in regulation, winning in overtime. Big win for the Vandals. UC Davis will play them next week. Montana rolling over Weber State. That's a final. You've got Portland State on top of Cal Poly. Montana State, no problems in Greeley, as right now the Bobcats are playing the best football in the Big Sky. And Sacramento State trying to rebound after that loss at home, leading at Eastern Washington.
Both those teams 4-4, obviously, Scott. You got to think that's a playoff elimination game for either one of those teams.
Aggies trying to remain perfect in the Big Sky. A false start's not going to help their drive here. Start things off.
False start, 65, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
So that's going to go against David Portisano, the sophomore right tackle.
And Tim Plow talking to the ref about that just to see. And the right tackle there, yep, definitely left a little bit early. The Aggies doing some things that are uncharacteristic. Obviously, 2 turnovers, not finishing in the red zone like they have. These Idaho State Bengals, team will play the Vandals next week. The Bengal defense is doing a great job of tricking up the Aggies so far.
So it's 1st and 15. Fisher, the handoff on 1st down, past the original line of scrimmage and falling forward out to the 30-yard line. A gain of 10 for Jordan Fisher. Fisher now has 92 yards rushing in the game. He's going to have to carry the load. Carter Vargas, hurt in the first half, will not return.
Yeah, Vargas had 2 touchdowns and is now out of the game. It'll be all Jordan Fisher.
2nd down and 5. In motion, Zach Jones. Pinnock throws out in the flat for Fisher. Curls upfield, has the 1st down before being tripped up. A gain of 9 for Fisher, who has become an excellent receiver out of the backfield. Tackle on the play made by Jackson Daniels.
Really good throw that time by Caden Pinnock. Put a little bit of touch on it, and a really good job by Jordan Fisher of catching it, going upfield, knowing where he needed to get to for the 1st down.
Pinnock's going to keep it, just moves forward and out to the 43-yard line. A gain of 5 for Pinnock, who again is 18 of 19 today. The only miss was an INT.
And he did have the fumble late in the first half, but he's been spot on in his first duty in 3 weeks.
Yeah, coming back, did not play last week, severely ill, did not make the trip to northern Colorado. Handoff on 2nd down, limited gain for Fisher right side. Will set up a 3rd and 4.
Would not be surprised. Obviously, they're going to try to protect Caden Pinnock, but Caden is an excellent runner. He picked up 5 yards on 1st down there. They want to protect him, but you got to use his legs if you're only going to use Jordan Fisher as your running back.
Yeah, especially in a game like this, which is coming down here. 2/3 through the 3rd quarter here, Idaho State on the lead. They're going to need Pinnock to do everything today to try and get this win. Bengals blitz, Aggies pick it up. 1st down pass is made to Le'Veon Pickett as he gets onto the positive side of the field down to the Bengal 47-yard line. Good job by the Aggie line to pick up that blitz.
And a great job by Jordan Fisher of picking up the blitzer. So he's had a great run, a good reception, and a phenomenal block against the blitz.
Pinnock pulls it, he's under pressure, lets it go, and throws it out of bounds as he was being hit again by Bronson Childs, who's had a big game for the Bengals.
He has had a big game, as now the defensive line for the Bengals makes wholesale changes coming in. They actually sub out 6 different players to try to get some fresh bodies, but a smart play that time by Caden Pinnock, who did not throw it away earlier in the first half, but does so here to save the yardage.
Cody Hawkins, his dad Dan, both Aggie legends, former coaches here, trying to pull off the upset here at UC Davis today. Scott Nixon in motion to the left. It's a handoff inside the 40 and going down to the 36-yard line. The running back for the Aggies, and that is Kai Asia, who gets his first carry of the ball game. Moves the chains.
All Del Oro High School running back. Phenomenal. He and Caden Pinnock played in high school together. They both recruited together. Good job of ball security, coming up in a critical situation, picking up the 1st down, getting more than 10 yards. That's going to be key because Jordan Fisher needs to be able to get a blow every now and then.
He comes back in, and again, it's all hands on deck for the Aggies. So many injuries this year, it's next man up. Pinnock fakes on the read option, throws back the other way. Wide open, Fisher down to the 10-yard line. Oh, that time Pinnock faked the pitch and got Fisher on the wheel pattern.
And he faked it initially to Jordan Fisher, and as most coaches say, the person that you fake it to is usually wide open, and then he faked a little shuffle pass inside. Really good throw, phenomenal catch. Look at this design here. He fakes it to Fisher, flow goes left, and he knows where he's going the whole time, right on the money. Fisher knows he's going to take a shot. 1st and goal for the Aggies, now their 7th trip inside the red zone, Scott.
Fisher's 4th reception of the afternoon. Now the Aggies have to finish. Last time they came up with just 3 inside the red zone. Pickett clears the backfield. Handoff for Jay Fish, coming right side, inside the 5, stop there. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
And this is where not having Carter Vargas is a big deal. You get inside the 10, not that Jordan Fisher doesn't rush hard or can catch out of the backfield or make the protections. But Vargas is your short yardage rusher. Had 90 yards last week against Northern Colorado. Had that critical 7-yard run that allowed them to get the field goal to put the game out of reach, 27-16. So we'll see what they come up with here with the ball sitting right at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, Fisher goes 180. Vargas goes 210 pounds. 2nd and goal. Aggies trying to regain the lead. Pinnock hands off for Fisher, right side, nothing doing. Ran right into a Bengal wall. And it'll be 3rd and goal.
Now I would not be surprised at all. They've run 2 plays in a row to Jordan Fisher, picked up a couple yards. Give Caden Pinnock an opportunity to roll out, run if he needs to, give him a run-pass option. Look for the tight ends in this situation as they go very quickly up to the line of scrimmage. They didn't sub, so they can snap it.
The Bengals able to get off the field as Pinnock was under center. Now the Aggies are going to clear out 4 wide receivers to the left. Batu, the lone receiver, to the right. Look for Samuel Batu, man-to-man coverage to the near side. Pinnock with it. Has nobody open. He's going to pull down and run with it. He has some room, and he's in. Touchdown, UC Davis. Caden Pinnock using his legs to give the Aggies the lead back. But it's going to be all for naught. Holding against the Aggies, and what a critical mistake.
Oh, what a tough penalty. Such a well played down that time by Caden Pinnock. 4 receivers out to the left, plenty of time in the pocket. He knew he had an area to run to if coverage broke down. He did. He ran into the end zone, but instead of a touchdown, goes all the way back to the 15. Let's see if we can look at the hold here.
It's going to go against Portisano.
Oh, right there in the middle. Saw the jersey turn around. You're going to get that call every time.
So instead of a touchdown, it's 3rd and goal from the 15-yard line. Spread offense. Pinnock across the middle. It's caught the Dobbins inside the 5, trying to make a play, diving forward to the 3. And now decision time for Tim Plow. Do you take the 3 and make it a 2-point game, or do you go for it here? That's been the story of the day for the Aggies. Decision times inside the red zone here.
Well, Sam Batu just helped him out a ton right there. He dropped it off to him, and he got some extra yards. So the ball's at the 3. They're going to go for this.
Yeah,
I think they
realize.
I
know they're going to go for it. Last time on 4th and 3, they elected to kick the field goal.
That's because they lost 2 yards to play before.
True, but it was still 4th and 3. It's still the same spot.
But Idaho State now has a 5-point lead.
Huge play in this game. Pinnock under center. Will move back now. Fisher to his left. Can the Aggies take the lead? Late stages of the 3rd. Pinnock looking near side. Flag stopped the play. It would have been a touchdown. But we have a false start against the Aggies.
It's the same play they scored the touchdown with Pickett. Would have been good.
And that changes everything. Boy, some uncharacteristic Aggie penalties here.
They blew the play
False
dead.
start. Offense.
It's a motion!
Report 4th down. All 11
Didn't even
players
call a number.
never were set.
Not sure who that was against. So that brings on Hunter Ridley. And boy, if the Aggies can't win this one today, they're going to look back at their mistakes in the red zone.
2 touchdowns taken off the board. Pickett would have been heading there for the touchdown.
Was that on Batu?
It was not.
Could not
Must
tell.
have been one of the offensive linemen. Didn't hear.
Ridley's, what amounts to be a 3-point extra point, is good from 25 yards out. The Aggies get to within 2. But as you said earlier, Scott, this game is not a game where field goals are going to win it. And right now the Aggies are kind of in that situation, trailing by 2.
Well, they've started drives at their own 25. Normally very good inside the red zone. They've gotten down there 7 times. They've missed on 1, and on their last 2, they've just gotten field goals, as we talked about, shooting themselves in the foot. First, Caden Pinnock runs it in. That gets negated by a hold. Then they get the touchdown pass, which would have been Pickett's 2nd of the game, but that's negated.
So just announcing on the special teams, when you have multiple players, one of the guys has to change jerseys there. As we'll take a look at the Motherlode Vantage Storage drive stats. 12 plays, 67 yards, took 6 minutes off.
First half, but left with injury.
Aggies uncharacteristically not themselves in the red zone. They had 2 consecutive field goals inside the 20-yard line instead of being able to get 6. First down handoff, Dason Brooks back in the ball game, and Jacob Syke greets him very rudely for a loss. Jacob Syke, he's been silent today, but not silent this year. What an Aggie year he is having. The graduate transfer from Harvard, 6th in the nation in sacks. That tackle for loss is his 13th of the season.
Incredible, 20 tackles. If you think about it, 13 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. He's forced fumbles. He's knocked down passes. He's rushed quarterbacks. A phenomenal transfer from Harvard.
2nd and 12 after the 2-yard loss. Cook hands off for Brooks again, past the 35, breaking tackles and has a first down, and that's the Dason Brooks we saw in the first half right there.
Yeah, and that looks like a much steadier run than the one they saw in the third quarter where he thought he might got hurt a little bit. They're doing a really good job, but Craig Madruga actually comes up and makes the tackle, but not before they pick up the first down.
Brooks approaching a 200-yard day here in Davis. Already has broken his career best rushing performance. 1st and 10 Bengals. Trips receivers out to the right. The lone receiver left side. Cook throws out left side. Nunnally breaking a tackle for a few yards past the catch, but stepped out of bounds a couple yards back. It'll be a gain of 5 for Nunnally.
And not on the field right now is Drew Cofield, trying to give him a bit of a break as they've got Marquise Bell running the boundary on that side, and over here they got Ty Richardson. So Cody Hawkins noticing a little change up in the defensive backfield and trying to exploit that.
The Aggies have had all sorts of injuries in the secondary this season. Ty Richardson, his first start after the first game of the year. Cook on a 5-step drop, going deep into the pocket now, wings it down the field. It's incomplete. Just threw it off the back foot that time in the vicinity of Jonah Burton. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, he's got a very strong arm, as you can tell. He got outside the tackle box. He was under a little bit of duress. Jacob Syke again, good job of getting some pressure on Cook, forcing the 3rd down throw, but he was able to get it outside the tackle box and past the line of scrimmage.
See if the Aggie D can get a stop on 3rd and 5. Trips receivers again to the right, a lone receiver out left. Cook fakes the handoff, throws down the middle, pass drop by Duarte at the Aggie 25-yard line. Had it in his arms, couldn't come down with it, and we'll see what Cody Hawkins does on 4th and 5. It looks like he's going to bring on his punter, Gabe Russo.
Yeah, their defense has done a good job so far. Really good ball that time to Duarte, a little bit high. Kalani Riddick in coverage, but he threw it where really he only could throw it. He couldn't throw it underneath because Riddick was trailing behind him. He put some air under it. There's a safety over the top. So the Aggies do their job, and they get off the field. Now let's see what the offense can do.
So Russo set the kick inside his 35-yard line. Tico Riddick set the return at his 15. This one, a high end-over-end kick, is going to be caught upfield at the 20-yard line by Riddick. So fair catch by Riddick. Timeout on the field, we'll take it. Aggies trying to regain the lead when we return. The ladies of Davis dancing during the timeout here. Great day on the UC Davis campus. Absolutely gorgeous conditions. Temperatures hovering right around 80 degrees on the first day of November.
Yeah, everybody is on the west side of the stadium is absolutely packed and trying to get some shade here in November.
1st and 10, UC Davis. Trying to regain the lead, trailing by 2. Idaho State has led for the most part here today. Simpson in motion. Pinnock on 1st down, trying to get out of the pocket, spinning, nowhere to go. And that'll be a sack all the way back to the 16-yard line. That's a coverage sack that time. Terrific job by Idaho State. And again, the man's name we've called all day long, Bronson Childs, in on the sack for the Bengals.
Yeah, you're right. The Aggies tried to run a little confusion on their routes. 1-1000, 2-1000, really nowhere for Caden to go. And what Childs does really well is he's being blocked. He just gets away from his tackle, and Caden's unable to step up and pick up extra yards.
So a loss of 4, 2nd down and 14. Pinnick looks near side, pass caught, Batu, stutter steps, makes a move out past the 30 and has a first down. Taking a look at the upcoming schedule for the Bengals, they go home after having so many road games. They're hosting Cal Poly at Weber State. They finish with the Potato Bowl with Idaho, and that will be in Moscow. Of course, the Aggies will be in Moscow next week. This is the last outside game of the year for the Bengals.
Yeah, it is. They go back inside. They got their own dome and ISSU dome, and then the Kibbe Dome to finish out the season.
First down, Cook with it under pressure, just lays down inside the 5-yard line. Jacob Syke in there along with Sam Goligoski. And what a big-time play on first down.
Nobody blocked Jacob Syke, and he absolutely went in and blew this one up. It'll go down as another tackle for loss, and what a disruptive play the transfer from Harvard makes that time. They were trying to read him, but in situations started off the game with a 57-yard touchdown run, but right there here in the fourth quarter to get that pickup when it was 2nd and 19.
Idaho State's been close in losses at UNLV, New Mexico, and at home against Montana, trying to pull off the upset here against 6th-ranked UC Davis. Brooks, a 2-yard carry on first down. He was knocked up a little bit in the third quarter, is back in the game looking good again.
He was a little beat up, took a series off, but he has come back in, and no worse for the wear. Jordan Cook's been effective throwing the football, has just one interception, and they've spread it around to a number of different receivers. Shulikov with an outstanding one-handed catch, and that's the difference in the game right now.
Brooks now has a 211 yards on the ground. 2nd down and 8. Duarte in motion, handoff Brooks. Past the 30, 35, and another first down. Tackled from behind by Goligoski. And right now, the Bengals want to run the ball, keep it on the ground, keep the time moving, leading 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to go.
This is a very different game than it was in the first half, Scott. The first 3 possessions by each team turned into touchdowns. This was 28-27 at halftime. There's been 1 touchdown for the Bengals, 2 field goals for the Aggies in the second half. Just moved at a much slower pace. Bengals are going to try to run the clock and run this out, end this drive with a touchdown. 1st and 10, Aggies jump the line, and that's going to be 5 yards on Jarrell Porter. Actually, it's going to go against Idaho.
Number 11, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So the Aggies get the call. It'll be 1st and 15.
Smart by Porter, the transfer from Dartmouth, seeing that the wide receiver had jumped, moving into the zone, triggering the false start. So now 1st and 15.
And again, to show you time of possession and what it means, the Aggies almost have double the time of possession of Idaho State in this game. And usually that's not the case. Davis usually never wins time of possession. They're not ahead on the scoreboard. Cook lets it fly just over the head of Shulikov. It's hard to overthrow the 6'6" Mike Shulikov, but that's what happened.
Yeah, he would have needed to be Fletch 7'7" with Afro there to catch that one, but he was open. But that's a tough throw to make from the left hash all the way to the numbers. There's a corner route, deep corner route, and just airmails Shulikov, who's had a pretty effective game so far. So 2nd and 15.
Yeah, Shulikov has had a big day, including that incredible one-handed touchdown grab. 2nd and 15. Cook looks left, winds up, throws deep down the field, man-to-man coverage down that far sideline, and a back-headed grab. I believe it's going to be a catch. It is. No, it's intercepted. Marquise Bell came up with it. What a grab. Marquise Bell, who has one hand, somehow makes the grab, a cast on the left hand, on the right hand, and he comes up with a left-handed grab. What a play by Marquise Bell.
He's great in coverage. It looked like Damian Morgan came down with it, but Marquise Bell just took it right out of his hands. Watch this. Pretty good throw this time by Cook. One-on-one route, throwing it the whole way. It looks like Morgan has it, and
just
it's taken right away from him as it bounced up, and Marquise Bell, with just one hand, makes the interception, 2nd interception of the game.
If I were Morgan, I'd put my head in both my hands too. He can't believe that Bell took it away. What an incredible play by Marquise Bell, and boy, did the Aggies need that.
And good news for UC Davis, Caden Pinnick jogs back on the field, so the Aggies take over at their own 20-yard line. They trail by just 2, 7 minutes and 40 seconds to play.
Marquise Bell, that broken thumb, surgery during the week, playing with the club hand, comes up with might be the defensive play of the ballgame. See if the Aggies can take advantage of it. 7:40 to go. Jones in motion to the left. Pinnick fakes the handoff, steps back, under pressure again, steps up, runs with it, 25, 30, and slides wisely feet first after getting the first down. What a play by Caden Pinnick.
Great awareness, knowing that the pocket was collapsing around him, runs up the field. He already took a big shot, picked up the first down and slid. Good job by Caden Pinnick. You take a look at it here. The Bengals are getting some pressure. Caden steps up, breaks the tackle at about the 22, and then slides. There's the old baseball player in him, Scott, knows how to slide.
No doubt, that was a great slide, and we've seen some unsuccessful slides this year, but that was a beauty from Caden Pinnick. Pinnick pump fakes, has time, rifles down the field, has Simpson with a step and out. Reached grab attempt by Simpson, comes down with it incomplete. Oh, a great attempt by Simpson, he just couldn't bring it in.
They were trying to go sluggo, slant and go on the other side. It was well covered on the right there, and then he comes back to the middle, up the seam. He puts enough air under it, just outside of the steps of Ian Simpson. Would have been a phenomenal catch. He gets a little more air under it. Simpson could have caught that and maybe run in the end zone.
What an effort by Ian Simpson to try and bring that one in. Just couldn't do it. 2nd down and 10. Under 7 minutes to go. Time is a factor now with the Aggies trailing by 2. Pinnick pitches it out for Fisher, trying to get around the edge. Now turns it back in past the 35. Good tough running from Jay Fish out to the 38-yard line, a gain of 6.
That's a very tough run right there. They actually were trying to get to the perimeter. He cut it back in. He saw nothing but orange and white, ran right into the fray. Watch this, Scott. Knows he's got to cut it back, jukes the first guy, and picks up 6 yards to make this a 3rd and 4.
Fisher over 100 yards rushing now, his 4th 100-yard rushing game of the season. Earlier, Batu got his 100-yard receiving game for the 4th time this season, 6th overall in his career. 3rd and 4, critical play here from the Aggie 38-yard line. Play clock under 5. Pinnick the throw. Under pressure again, rolls out, has room to run. He'll pull it down, he'll have the first down. Stutter stepping out of bounds in Bengal territory. Oh, what a play by Caden Pinnick.
There's the part of Caden Pinnick that you just can't teach. He knows the pocket's coming down on him, knows he needs to get upfield, he breaks contain, knows he wants to get a couple extra yards and goes out of bounds full speed. And for the Aggies, they are now in Idaho State territory. Huge 3rd down pickup.
So a field goal will give the Aggies the lead on the positive side of the field. 5:30 to play. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. Dobbins clears the backfield. Pinnick pulls it across the middle. Pass dropped by Batu. He's hit afterwards. No flag thrown. A rare drop by Batu.
A really well executed RPO. Paul Shelton and Tim Plow are seeing that the Bengal linebackers are crashing on the run. They faked to Kaiasia.
That's a late hit.
And he hit Batu. Batu would have had a first down right there.
Mason Young hit Batu a couple steps after the incompletion. Nothing was called. It's 2nd down and 10. Trips receivers out to the left. Pinnick on a 7-step drop, throws out in the flat, wide open is Dobbins, 40, 35, and out of bounds near the 30-yard line. And that'll move the chains on a 16-yard completion.
Shallow crossing route that time. They send everybody to the right. Look where Caden's eyes go. We're just waiting for him to come into the zone. Dobbins runs a good route, goes down the field, picks up a first down. And there, what was good is they had Kaiasia in 2 plays in a row to give Jordan Fisher a little bit of a break. They've got it down to the Bengal 32, and Jordan Fisher's back in with fresh legs.
A drive that started on their 18-yard line after the Marquise Bell just stole the ball away on an interception. Play count under 5 again. In motion, Tyler Hennessy. They run the counter play to Fisher, trying to get around the edge, can't do it. knocked out of bounds, maybe got a yard. Tackle made on the play, that time by Mike Lindsay, the cornerback.
Cornerback came up and supported it, but a great job on the defensive end spot by Tuioti.
Mike Lindsay has great pedigree. His uncle is Reggie Miller, the great Reggie Miller.
Phenomenal. And that means his aunt, Cheryl Miller.
I don't know if Reggie played football at all in high school, but yeah, Cheryl Miller's your aunt and Reggie's your uncle.
Glendora High School is where he went and put up a bunch of points.
2nd and 9, and another flag.
Another false start, I think, on UC Davis. This might be on the center again. Let's see.
We wait to hear the ruling from Jeff Rink. Boy, the Aggie offense, if it's against them, all these pre-snap.
False start, 65, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Second down for David Portisano.
That moves the ball all the way back to the 38-yard line.
Oh, yep, he rocked back.
He did. He felt the heat coming that time from Jake East.
And Scott, think back to the end of the first half. This is about where the Aggies got, and they did not get to attempt the field goal, which is now the difference in the game. And they've got the ball at the 37 right here.
Yeah, with 3:45 to go, you got to treat this as if it might be your final drive. 2nd and 14. Pinnock, deep drop, pump fakes, now throws it out of bounds. Great coverage. Mitchell Dixon, the intended receiver. He wasn't open. Lindsay was there on the coverage. Also for the Bengals, Decker Hagler, the safety.
Yeah, it's too bad Caden Pinnock didn't look at the other side of the field. He had a little bit more options. He thought he might just have Mitchell Dixon there. He zeroed in on him, but he had 2 receivers on the other side that would have given him some yardage. Nonetheless, it brings up a 3rd down. 4-down territory. You think they're going to try to get first down here on 2 plays.
Aggies aren't in field goal territory yet for Hunter Ridley. Pinnock the throw. Steps up, eludes the defender. Is going to run with it. 30 out of bounds. Shoved hard out of bounds at the 28-yard line. That Aggie sideline wants a late hit. I don't believe it was. Sets up a 4th and 5. Will the Aggies go for it or try a 45-yard field goal from Hunter Ridley?
And Hunter Ridley is jogging out right now. Let's take a look. Caden Pinnock is trying to get as many yards as he can, goes out full speed. That's a clean hit on the white line. That's okay. So the Aggies now, it was Hunter Ridley last week with a 41-yarder that put it away. This one for 45.
It's going to be 46 officially for Hunter Ridley, which would tie his career high. Trying to put the Aggies back on top with 3:04 to go. Snap down, kick is up. It has the distance, and it is good. Hunter Ridley, the all-Big Sky performer, puts the Aggies back on top. And not a bigger kick in his career thus far than that one.
Scotty's got 3 field goals in the second half. A career longest match right there. Great job by the kicking unit. Give them a lot of credit. They do have a missed extra point that was blocked. They do have a punt that was blocked. They made the adjustment they needed to, ate up a ton of time, and got their 3rd score of the game in the second half, and all 3 of them have been field goals.
For Hunter Ridley, it's his 37th career field goal as a UC Davis Aggie, 5th all time. What a percentage, 39, or make it his 39th field goal because it's his 30, came in with 36. 39 of 47 in his career.
And Scott, points off of a turnover. How big was Marquise's Bell? Looked like it was being a catch by Morgan. Bell took it away. Caden Pinnock ran for a couple of first downs, and there's a scoring drive. Motherlode Van Storage, 10 plays, 52 yards. They used up 4 minutes, 44 seconds, and it was ended by Hunter Ridley with his 3rd field goal, that one a 46-yarder.
The Aggies and Bengals have played some nail biters, and this is no different today. Mancera squibs it again. They let it go to the back, out on a run at the 15-yard line and out past the 30 to the 35-yard line. Scampers Jonah Burton. So the Bengals will have terrific field position. They have a terrific field goal kicker who's made a 56-yarder. 2:52 to go. You couldn't have any more drama here in the Big Sky.
36-35. What a football game. It was 28-27 at halftime. It's Cody Hawkins' former offensive coordinator going against Matt Coombs, somebody he used to go up against in practice. 2:52 to go. Idaho State has all 3 of their timeouts.
They honored Dan Hawkins with a little tribute at halftime as well. He's trying to beat his alma mater a former team he coached. The Aggie defensive line getting it done on first down. Rain Mayo, you're not running through him. Dason Brooks, no gain. It's been a career afternoon for him. 23 carries, 220 yards.
Rain Mayo did a great job, Scott. He did not go upfield to rush. He just clogged up the A-gap, and he has no problem doing that at 6'2" and a generous 320.
Clock continues to roll, 2:25 and counting. It's not a factor. Both teams have 3 timeouts. Jordan Cook taking his time, gets the snap. Across the middle, pass caught. Run after the catch up to the 39-yard line. A gain of 7 sets up a 3rd and 3. Damian Young with the catch, and that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes to go. The game in the balance here at UC Davis Health Stadium. The Aggies trying to remain undefeated at home. We'll look at the conference standings. Montana and Montana State both won today. The Aggies trying to hold serve. Under 2 minutes to go. The Aggies up by 1, clinging to victory here as the crowd trying to carry the home team on today. Everybody on their feet at UC Davis Health Stadium on a critical 3rd and 3. No doubt about it. It will be 4-down territory for Cody Hawkins and the Idaho State Bengals.
Would be shocked as they move Jonah Burton from the backfield and they put Brooks in there at running back. Be shocked to see him not get a touch here.
Cook barking out the signals. Taking his time, gets the snap, steps back, looking to throw. Across the middle, pass caught to the 40-yard line, 35, one man to beat, and it's a touchdown-saving tackle by Marquise Bell, who comes up grabbing that left hand, which was surgically repaired during the week. Oh, Marquise Bell may have saved the game with that tackle right there.
Just putting his body and self before anybody, and look at him on the ground. And as we all know, he hurt his thumb last week against Northern Colorado. We see Brian Norton, the trainer out there, the medical staff. He's playing with a soft cast. Weren't sure he was going to be able to play or not. It's a man beater. Watch this. Cook looks left, comes back. Got him on the dig route. Good throw. They catch the Aggies in man coverage, and just a great job of making the tackle. But as you can see, Scott, the bulk of the tackle was made by the right hand, and his legs fell down on that.
A heroic effort by Marquise Bell. Came up with the interception just after taking it away from the wide receiver earlier in the quarter, allowing the Aggies to move down and get the field goal here. Thing is, Idaho State's in field goal range right now. Sinatra has hit a 56-yarder. It'd be a 48-yarder from this position, and you got to think the Aggies got to start using their timeouts here.
You do, and the other thing you want to watch for is I have yet to see Drew Cofield jog back on the field. They've gone with Ty Richardson and Marquise Bell the whole second half, and Marquise Bell, you can't say enough about what that young man's done today. He was in surgery this week, and he's out here playing. He's got an interception. He's played almost every down in the defensive backfield.
The Aggies secondary has been absolutely decimated by injury. And to your point, Ty Richardson is out there. Drew Cofield is not. For the Aggies, they are playing Jordan Black Glass at one of the corners. He has not played this season. He has the assignment on Shulikov.
There's no doubt that Cody Hawkins and the folks upstairs, he has his offensive coordinator upstairs telling him who he is. They are 6 for 9 on 3rd down, something they came into this game struggling with, been effective today.
Massive 3rd down conversion there by the Bengals. 1:47 to go. Hand off to Brooks, hit in the backfield, they take it down for a loss. Oh, jumping the gun was Goligoski. It's a 4-yard loss all the way back to the 36-yard line, and the Aggies are not taking a timeout right now. I'm really curious about that one, Scott.
Sam Goligoski, who was the defensive player of the week last week for the Aggies, he had 7 tackles, 2 sacks, and 3 tackles for loss. Gets another tackle for loss right there.
Clock continues to roll. Aggies did not take a timeout. 1:15 to play. 2nd down and 14. Pandemonium here at UC Davis Health Stadium. Game on the line. Handoff Brooks. Pushes the pile forward. Not much doing there. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down, and Tim Plow does take a timeout now with 1 minute to go. So Tim Plow taking the first of his 3 timeouts.
Great job of getting penetration. Trent Carrad around the outside.
So Sinatra, again, has kicked one from 56. He's been rarely used. Came into this game, only had 4 field goal attempts. He's made all 4 of them. The 56-yarder came at New Mexico. On his career, he's 11 of 14. He's 5 of 6 from 49 and in. So he's got plenty of leg. As it sits right now, it would be a 50-yard attempt.
And he's 2 for 5 and 50 yards or plus. So third down here. Aggies take one of their timeouts. They have 2 to go. So the question, obviously, on Cody Hawkins' mind is how many yards are you going for here? As you see Sinatra warming up over there for the attempt.
This game reminiscent of the 2018 game where Idaho State had a field goal at the end of regulation to win it. Did not. Aggies won it in overtime. Will that play out again? Handoff Brooks. Actually, it's a quarterback keeper to Cook. Nowhere to go. Got nothing. And Tim Plow will take that second timeout. So it's 4th down now. Cody Hawkins tried a quarterback keeper. So it's going to come down to the right foot of Trajan Sinatra.
Regardless of whether he kept it or not, and he did, Nate Ruccino with a great stop, but Jackson Sievers got upfield and tackled. They knew Idaho State was going to try to run, just try to pick up some extra yards, keep the clock going. They really pick up nothing. The ball sits at the 33, Scott, so as you mentioned, it's a 50-yarder.
It is a 50-yarder. Sinatra, a 3-time Big Sky Special Teams Player of the Week. Perfect conditions to be kicking. He is kicking into the South Berm area. They will try to make some noise to distract him. The long snapper is Ryan Carter. The holder is the punter, Gabe Russo. 50 yards to take the lead. This could be for the game. Ball on the right hash. Snap down, kick is up. Does it have the distance? It does, but it's good. It is good. It crawled over the crossbar and in. And Idaho State, with 52 seconds left in the game, has taken the lead 38-36.
Well, not losing a yard on the last play turned out to be big because that barely went over that pretty good kick. And this just barely goes over that front crossbar. Cleared it by about 5 yards. So the Aggies now, 52 seconds to go, could get a field goal to win it, and think about how big now the missed extra point and the inability to get the field goal at the end of the first half. 4 points that they could be looming, but they've got a timeout, 52 seconds, and to get into Hunter Ridley territory, we're talking about 27, 28-yard line.
So the Bengals looking for the signature win. Trajan Sinatra, his second 50-yard field goal of the year, 3rd of his career. The Bengals reversed tables on that game from 2018 when they missed the field goal late and lost in overtime. Trying to avenge and get their first win here at UC Davis. Cody Hawkins coming back to the school where he was the offensive coordinator before becoming the head coach of the Bengals, and Dan Hawkins, who led the Aggies for 8 years on that Bengals sideline. Can they get it done? The Bengals have been snake bitten on many occasions. Can they close it out here?
And on that play, they had a 3rd down conversion to Nunnally, which put them in great field position, allowing them to get the kick. And this could be huge if it goes out of bounds.
And it did go out of bounds. It went out of bounds at the 1-yard line. A terrible mistake by Mason
Really kicking the
Lindbergh.
ball out of bounds. 26, the kicking team. Ball replaced at the 35-yard line. First down.
Now the Aggies put Batu back there this time, so they were going to try and return, not just take a fair catch, but still a bad mistake. The Aggies have terrific field position, and they've got to get 30 to 35 yards to have a chance at this one.
Well, starting off at the 35-yard line, you take any day of the week as you see the ball. Sam Batu, very smart, trying to not to come up and catch it, letting that go out of bounds. That's the veteran leadership of the captain.
The Aggies 6-1 on the year, 6th in the nation, 4-0 in the Big Sky. Trying to keep pace with Montana and Montana State, both 5-0, both winners today. Can Caden Pinnock lead the Aggies on a walk-off drive? Pinnock the throw on first down, has time, pump fake's gonna pull it down, he's gonna run with it to the 40, to the 45, he slid before the first down, that will keep the clock rolling. Aggies have to hurry and get to the line here. Under 40 seconds to go. Second down and 2. Zach Jones has to get set. He does. 35 seconds left to go. They run it to Fisher. He gets the first down. That will stop the clock. 30 seconds to go. Aggies have to hurry. Once that ball gets set, the clock will run again.
Got the ball at the 47. Good job by Caden Pinnick getting the no huddle offense going. Just
clock running
seconds.
again. 26 and counting. Deep drop for Pinnick. They bring the blitz across the middle. Pass caught into the first down. That will stop the clock. Aggies at the Bengal 42-yard line. 21 seconds. Oh, they're calling it incomplete.
It off. Oh, wow. They're waving that one off. Let's see the replay.
Dobbins diving.
Oh, it's out. They're definitely going to look at that next door in the replay booth.
I couldn't see it from that angle, Scott. You've got good eyes. And this play will go under review. A critical call in this game with 20 seconds to go. So our first review of the game, and it couldn't come at a bigger time.
The original call is a catch. The second one is a incompletion. Let's take a look here. This is a good angle from our guys.
The ruling of an incomplete pass is under review.
It is incomplete. Yep, you can see the ball out.
He catches it. He does not complete it. It goes to the ground. He has it there, but then it drops as he's going to the ground. You see the other angle. But the other angle, that's where you see it.
Yep.
Too bad they lost 7 seconds there, and they're going to have the ball at their own 47 instead of the Idaho State 40.
So with one timeout, they've got 2, maybe 3 plays at most. Hunter Ridley, again, just kicked his career high, tying 46-yard field goal. He's got a leg. He tells Tim Plow before every game he can kick 60 yards.
Well, he's been watching a lot of NFL games. The good news for the Aggies is they've had the ball 4 times in the second half. They've scored on 3 of them, but they've been field goals. And, Scott, you also think about how many times they got in the red zone and did not get touchdowns.
Here's the best look of it. Look at the ball near the legs.
Goes in the
shady
area.
You can see that second right there. The ball is out.
So he catches it up by his helmet. It's when he's bringing it down that it hits the ground.
Yeah, that's incomplete. I do believe. We'll see. I've been wrong plenty of times.
And remember, the referee has to agree with the replay for them to make it. Call on the field is incomplete.
Here we go. The longest field goal in UC Davis history is 54 yards. It was hit by Sean Kelly back in 2011. We'll see if Hunter Ridley's called upon to do something better than that. 20 seconds left. The Aggies desperately wanting to get the 5-0 in the Big Sky. Idaho State just 2-6 overall, 1-3 in conference play. Boy, what a win this would be. After being so close, many felt they should have won the Montana game at home, losing 42-38 late in that game. Almost victories over UNLV and New Mexico, both FBS teams. There's a look at Hunter Ridley's numbers.
See Cody Hawkins pacing around the 50-yard line right now.
They're still looking at this one. So it's not as clear and obvious.
Well, the problem is because it gets into a shaded area where you can't, it's a hard time to see. They've looked at everything they can. You're about as close to the replay official as possible.
I'm the third replay official.
Yeah, we always say you're the third one, and on the other side is the Idaho State team.
They can't tell. They put up their arms like we can't tell.
So they're going to have to go with the call on the
ruling
field.
of an incomplete pass is upheld.
So again, the terminology is upheld. It's not confirmed or
stands.
So here we go. One final look at it. It doesn't matter now. Ruled incomplete. So the Aggies, they still got to get about 20 yards to give Hunter Ridley a real chance. 20 seconds to go. Second down and 10. The down and distance doesn't really matter now. Pinnick lets it go across the middle, and it's intercepted, and that's going to do it. Caden Pinnick is picked off by Nathan Reynolds, and the Bengals are going to celebrate here at UC Davis. Caden Pinnick's second interception of the ball game, and Cody Hawkins has come back to the school he was the offensive coordinator of and has beaten his former team. And for Dan Hawkins, who stood on the Aggie sideline for 8 years, leading this program and building it at UC Davis into an FCS powerhouse, he wins and is an Idaho State Bengal today.
Trying to find Sam Batu behind the linebacker and safety. Phenomenal athletic play of getting up in the air by Nathan Reynolds. 58 tackles on the year, his first interception. Let's face it, he was just not open. And if you look at this, Scott, it's all the missed opportunities in the red zone for UC Davis, clock management at the end of the first half and some special teams plays. But for Idaho State, you got to congratulate them. They came out here with a plan and will leave with the victory.
Tim Plow had a lot of decisions whether to try and go for it on fourth down in the red zone or kick field goals. He took field goals on a couple of occasions. And the Aggies come up 2 points short. As you see, Cody Hawkins and Tim Plow give each other a hug. Tremendous respect between those two men.
Well, worked together for a lot of years. Offensive coordinator Tim Plow, when he was here at UC Davis under Dan Hawkins. His wide receiver coach was Cody Hawkins. Cody, after being an offensive coordinator for 2 years, left, and this is his third season at Idaho State. And you see Dan talking to some of the players, but this is no doubt the biggest win that Idaho State has had in the Cody Hawkins realm.
Without a doubt, they upset the number 6 team in the country. And again, the subplot to this one could not have been any larger than we saw this afternoon.
And some bigger questions remain. The injury to Carter Vargas, who left the first half, and UC Davis with 8 trips down inside the red zone, coming out with field goals, not touchdowns. Usually they had been so good. They were 6 for 7, but they ended up with 3 field goals instead of touchdowns. They gave up a block punt, which they hadn't done this year. They missed an extra point, and there'll be a lot of things that UC Davis is looking at as they go into next week. It doesn't get any easier. They go to Idaho in the Kibbe Dome, coming off a win on the road at Northern Arizona.
Got to do that, and then you have to go to Montana State in a couple of weeks as well before you wrap up against Sacramento State. You got to think the Aggies got to get to 8 wins to get a playoff berth. 7-4 might get it done, but certainly 8 wins would for the Aggies.
But as we focus in today, it was Idaho State that did what they needed to do. They led at halftime 28-27, had the final drive, end up winning this one 38-36.
No doubt about it. It was a huge day for Dason Brooks, a career afternoon. He finishes unofficially with 220 yards rushing, and that was a big, big difference in this ball game, Scott.
Well, as good as they were in the air, they were even better on the ground, and the Aggies fought them every which way that they could, but they just could not finish the drives in the red zone. And unfortunately for UC Davis, they lose their first home game of the year, and they lose in the conference. And if they want to win the conference championship, they knew they needed to go undefeated.
No doubt about it. The game next week becomes extremely important for them before they head to Bozeman to take on Montana State. For Idaho State, they get to go home now as they get a chance to take on Cal Poly and another home game before they go to Idaho. And again, congratulations to Idaho State coming up with a huge win on the road. They've been close many times this season. They finally get that signature win.
They get the signature win that they've been waiting for. Thought they would have had it earlier in the season. Sinatra kicking the game winner, the big drive down the stretch, and the Aggies just not able to come back. Too many mistakes, not taking advantage of plays in the red zone.
Sinatra doing it his way today at UC Davis. As we take a look at some of those final stats today, combined over 1,000 yards of offense. But those turnovers, critical. Now, Idaho State had a turnover in this game as well, but the turnovers for the Aggies, they just couldn't overcome them.
The biggest difference in the red zone, Idaho State was perfect. And as you see, 3 turnovers to 1. Field goals, not touchdowns in the red zone. And again, 3 turnovers, so uncharacteristic. Caden Pinnock came into this game with only 2 interceptions on the season. He had 2 today.
Yeah, again, did play last week, had a bye the week before that. So the Aggies will have to regroup and get ready for a couple of road games. Idaho State getting the win. They get a chance to go back home to Pocatello. That's going to do it from UC Davis Health Stadium. For Scott Gordon, Isidro Cabrera, our executive producer, Sam Alt, our director, and our entire broadcast crew. Your final score today, Idaho State 38, UC Davis 36. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. What a Big Sky football game today.